Don't turn the light out, let it burn brighter. I can see so clearly now. For every fear that's fading, another heart is waiting. It takes a man to hold things down.
Welcome back to Not in My Life channel panel show. We are back. Tijjani, Reijnders, whatever you want to call it. Here we go. Confirmed. The first signing confirmed now. Well, we knew it anyway for a while now, but we finally got the confirmation from Romano. Finally, a midfield, well, a good midfielder at least, a young midfielder who actually gets pace next to the midfield, so it's not no more having to watch three old men in the midfield against a ridiculously insane counter attack. So there's that to look forward to season.
That's very entitled of you.
Oh, that's the usual.
Hey, who's ready for more Bernardo next season? And conversation.
Anyhow. I just want to say, why is my music taste getting cooked when not even on my channel? My music taste getting cooked here as well.
Oh god, I gotta get good ready. And Joe, what guys, how are you doing anyway? It's been 2 weeks now. Well, almost 2 weeks since the season's over. Transfer windows, obviously, well, it's like 10th of June now. That is Club World Cup. How are we all doing anyway? All good?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Happy with the
summer here.
news. Happy with the news as well about not just, by the way, Rudolf Reijnders, but also happy with the news around Tijjani, because it seems like Tijjani is pretty much done. It seems like the Tijjani news
seemed a little cloudy, and then today it's like boom, we're like almost there. It's like okay.
Yeah. So I'm just happy to see that we're moving. I thought all of this was going to happen in the weekend. I thought we were stalling this out for PR reasons. But I think that's maybe Ryan, or not Ryan, it's Tijjani, we'll maybe do in Thursday, so tomorrow or Friday. And then Nuri, I actually thought Nuri would be the first to be announced, but because obviously that deal was already done in January, so I'm a bit confused why he wasn't the first to be announced, actually. But yeah, I'm guessing Nuri is going to be there soon, so I'm just chill at the moment. I did one thing, though, on my channel. I went through the homegrown stuff, and bro, every time you go look at it, it's more and more fucked. I think there's some magic spell here that keeps adding more and more not homegrown players to us, because we are currently, by the way, with Reijnders coming in on a 31-man squad.
Well, there's an easy explanation for why we're adding foreign players. It's because the English players aren't good enough. There's like 6 or 7 of them that are like good enough for this team. We have one of them, and we can't get the other ones. The rest of the English players are just massively overhyped. And I'd say even some of the ones that are good enough for a team are a little overhyped too. The English players are just not that good.
The problem is,
go on.
There are English players out there who are good enough. Let's say Morgan Rogers. Morgan Rogers is good enough to be on our bench. Livramento is good enough to be a starting right back. There are English players out there who are good enough. But we have to overspend to get these players. And we're not doing so at the moment.
Livramento is probably the only attainable one I think we can get. We have Foden. We're not getting Declan Rice. We're not getting Jude Bellingham. We're not getting Bukayo Saka. We're not getting Harry Kane. And we're not getting
Harry Kane.
Well, I'm just saying, like, he's like one of the only English players I consider like good enough for our team.
Yeah.
Beva, what do you think, mate?
Yeah. I agree. One sec. Major lag.
Yeah. It should be right in a bit. You just have to start someone else. Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, Joe, okay. The thing you mean, right? I think.
I vote for
yeah, it'll be back in a bit. It happens a lot every now and again. Until we have the stream, we have to sort of get used to it. And after he's back again. But the thing is, Reijnders to me, right? Do you know what? I'm excited to have a pivot of Rodri and Reijnders. We've finally got two midfielders that can come in there and just, one go forward, one can sit back, and it allows us a bit more room now to have a bit more pace on counter attack as well for our own counter attacks and going forward. I just feel more confident now in the team that it has someone like Reijnders in the team. That would have last season with our midfield there. So, and there he is on Twitter watching the stream. Big up, Patrick.
He's referring to the Ryans. That's the meme where they're pointing at each other.
Oh yeah, that funny. God, yeah. And
we're gonna have a Ryan. Let's see. There's a whole list of them. It could have been an Ederson if we were getting the Brazilian Ederson plus the.
But by the way, talking about Ederson, is anyone actually happy with Ederson staying? Because Pep Guardiola asked both goalkeepers apparently to stay, and I'm like, what are we doing here? Neither of them are good enough. Like we've seen all season, Ederson can't stop a shot, and Ortega can sometimes stop a shot, and sometimes he forgets how to play football. Really, but both of these goalkeepers are not good enough. Johan Garcia has gone to Barcelona because no one else was in for him. Mike McNall is going to Chelsea right now. So all the clubs are getting really good goalkeepers, and we're just sitting here like, yeah, let's keep Ederson.
I think if we can upgrade him, we should. I'm not getting off the Chevalier bandwagon. We should sign Lucas Chevalier. He's really good, and he's very young.
Yeah,
so unless we can upgrade Ederson, I mean, that's one less headache to deal with. I mean, if there's any truth to these Donnarumma things, I would give that a look. I know he's not a Pep keeper, but oh my God, he's so good at shot stopping, and he can actually save a penalty.
Well, I'll be real as well, right? I mean, I look at the rumors around Ederson. I like Ederson, obviously, what he's done for his club and that. But at the end of the day, right, if he wants to stay, and if he's going to stay, it's a contract. I'm not going to another player go out on a free transfer again. Like, I'd rather just either sign the deal for 1 year or 2 more years and then get money from next year, or just like sign something. I don't want to always sign players for free again. Hopefully, it should be better.
Yeah, if we can upgrade him, yes, then replace him. But if we can't, then just fine.
All good.
I think he's crucial the way we build up our play, but last season he struggled. He had a really bad season last season, so we can't afford to carry that again this season. He needs to up his game.
But
who has bad season? I mean, I could say that for 99.
Ederson.
Yeah, Ederson though. But the problem is he has a bad season every season. Even the treble season, he was poor at the start. Only at the end of it was he good. The Centurion season, he was the weakest link. Not Mendy, it was Ederson, who let in a lot of shots. Remember the game against Everton in the start of the season, Centurions? That should have never been a goal. Ederson just let it go through him. And that's how he's always been for us. He had us 6 good months in the treble season. So did Grealish, but we're not over here talking about keep Grealish. So, yeah, he passes the ball well. I'm sorry. We've got Vardiol, who can pass the ball pretty well. We've got fullbacks potentially coming who will be very good passers. We've got an entire midfield of passers. Rodri, by the way, Reijnders, and Gonzalez, all of them are very good at playing long balls. So why do we need a goalkeeper to do that?
Answer yourself. Answer this.
How have you won so much with this awful goalkeeper? Well, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? Everyone else was better. We had a very good squad without him. So, yeah, this awful goalkeeper is, in fact, an awful goalkeeper. We did win the treble because he was very good. But other than the treble, he's never really been all that. It's never really been all that.
I've got a little task for you when you can.
Yeah.
Have a look throughout Ederson's entire Manchester City career. How many times his errors have led to goals?
Yeah.
I can guarantee you it's under 5.
Ooh.
I can remember, I can already remember, the game against Sevilla in the treble season. That was a sloppy part. And during the part of treble season, he had a few errors, actually. where he had a few matches in the start of the treble seasons where it just led to goals. I think about the Sevilla game that in the start of the season. Like, I know we won that game comfortably, but it's also like he's never made these weird types of errors either. And did he play against Real Madrid, by the way, or was that Ortega?
That was...
I went to the treble season at Madrid. He had some major saves. People kind of forget that. They just remember his Champions League final performance, but at the Bernabeu that season,
mate, UCL final. Sorry, I know
he should have been man of the match over Rodri. I know that's blasphemous to say, but he was getting peppered in the last like 10, 15 minutes, and he saved everything.
The thing is, if we're being realistic, are there better shot stoppers out there? Yes. But is there anyone better for Manchester City in the way that we play football than Ederson? No. So by you're sacrificing having a goalkeeper that isn't as good at shot stopping, but in sacrificing that side of it, you're having a better goalkeeper in that starts off the build up. You know, you look at Ederson. He's Ederson this season has had more goal contributions than Man United's strikers combined in Xerxes and Højlund. He's had more goal contributions as a goalkeeper this season than both of their strikers combined. Like, that is wild.
Yeah, and Guardiola has more goal contributions as a left back, but Guardiola is not a good left back because he gets cooked every time he plays against the
mate. Oh, that is absolutely diabolical take.
Ooh.
Is he a good left back, though? He gets cooked every time he plays against a good winger. Half the crosses that came in of this season were on his side because he just doesn't get close to his wingers. As a left back, he's no good.
He's one of the best left backs in the league this season.
Because he goes forward as well.
You just said he's not a good left back.
Yeah,
I can't even
I know.
Here. He's not.
I know he's not a good left back because he's not a left back. He's a great centre back.
I think his defense is less he's not as good as a left back because I don't think he has the pace, the recovery pace, considering how far up the pitch he is. But we saw him at the end of the season. Joshua is a center back, and we should be selling everybody who threatens that position for him. If we go to the season and it's not Joshua and Diaz as a center back partner, the summer has failed.
That's a system thing, though. That's not. You look at Ake. Ake's not
an obsession with Akanji.
No, but
he's terrible and not good, and we look worse defensively when Akanji and Diaz are paired together. But Akanji just has to play because we can't not play him. We'll rush him back from injury.
When Ake plays left back, he's not a left back, but when he does play there, he gets close to his wingers and he doesn't let them cross the ball in.
It's because of how we set up, because Ake doesn't bomb it forward, so he doesn't have to have the recovery pace. Whereas,
yeah, but even when Guardiola is back, he lays off and allows wingers to get crosses in.
Poor guy's too tired from running up and down the pitch all season when he don't think he's built for that.
he gets spammed out as well for like 99% of games. Like the guy doesn't get a break, and the fact that he can play pretty much like any position, I believe, well enough. Like, he can play left back, he can play centre back. You could probably put him in DM and still do a good job.
Yeah, I think he's old enough to have a beer. I think he's old enough to have a beer even in America, where we have like the oldest drinking age for some odd reason. What is it, 18?
Well, there's a drinking age.
Or 18 when you go to the pub at 16 and who cares?
Yeah, what is the drinking age in America?
It's 21.
Oh, yeah, I'm 23, so.
Yeah, in Canada it's 19. We have no idea why, but most countries it's 18 or they just don't care.
You come to the UK, you'll see kids about 15 drinking around here. Yeah.
We'll see that head over the well, but it's just not legal. It's not legal, but it happens anyhow.
But it's something that nobody cares. Although in America, sometimes my best friend got served had a glass of wine placed in front of her when she was 12.
Have you seen
in America?
Have you seen that?
It depends on where you go. If you go to a restaurant run by non-Americans, they don't care.
Have you seen that picture in Germany of those kids holding the big beer jugs?
The caption says, "Finally, some kids who aren't on their phone."
Like Germany, they just don't care. Get him on the white line.
That's why Germany is so good at football. That's the solution.
Well, little story. If Alf doesn't know what it is, so there's a drink over in the UK called White Lightning, and it's like it's cider and it's like brutal. But I remember when I just turned sort of 17, 18, I was going out to the pubs, but you could buy like a bottle of White Lightning for I think it was about 99p.
Whoa,
so
yeah.
So you could go out with a tenner, get absolutely steaming, and be able to afford a kebab on the way home. It was brilliant.
Well, what about Lambrini?
Oh, Lambrini.
Lambrini.
I mean, we're not past the 9 p.m. cutoff point yet, so I'll refrain from saying what I think Lambrini is.
Yeah, off that.
Yeah, when I was in the UK back in like 2014 or 2013 or something, I was visiting a friend of mine who is British, and so she introduced us to Lambrini and then some of the cheeky pastries. So we had Lambrini and Sticky Willies. She's like, I'm giving you the real British experience, and I was like, I wonder if White Lightning is like Four Locos, which is White
Lightning is brutal stuff. It's like
somebody had a good chance, and Costa saved it.
Like Scrumpy Jacks as well is
Scrumpy
like,
Jacks.
I'd start just think a wine, to be honest.
Bench kind of levels of
okay. When I come to Manchester, which spoiler alert, I'm aiming for early 2026.
Nice.
I'm gonna try this White Lightning. It still exists. Had the
this is a messy one.
Lightning Cal.
I haven't tried the Vimto yet either. I gotta try that. That's amazing.
It's gonna be a messy one.
There's a lot of the little local specialties.
You experienced the blue hooch yet?
Nope.
The blue hooch.
This just all sounds like freezing.
If you want any ideas of what's good to drink, ask Darsh. Because Darsh was a little bit hanging in the stream the other night, wasn't he?
He was.
I'm not drinking right now, but it's just a boring.
Unhinged Darsh.
Shout out, Steve.
28 cans of Corona away. Yeah, it's got to be. You've got to have the bows. You've got to.
We have strong bow in America. They sell it here.
The question is, Nick, do you go for a standard?
I've been drinking. Someone in the chat's American. He's drinking moonshine. That's
I've drunk moonshine. It is hot, man.
I went to a party once. There's literally a gallon like this big, like a 5-gallon jug of somebody's homemade moonshine, and it was gone at the end of the night. I don't know how anybody survived that party because every drink you got was just like full of moonshine. I was like,
the problem with moonshine.
I literally don't know how I'm alive after that party.
The problem with Scrumpy Jacks is it's basically cider that has no fizz, so it just tastes like apple juice. It's honestly, it's brutal. There you go.
Doesn't sound good.
It's got no fizz to it, so it goes down like juice.
All right, Costa did make a great save earlier in this, like a few minutes ago. We're going back to the keeper talk. Yeah, moonshine. Moonshine is that'll fuck you up, especially if you're out in like the boondocks of like out in the sticks of like.
So stay healthy. Drink water, guys. Drink water. Don't be like.
I do have water in this cup. Well, not very much of it. But
yeah, gaslighting. That's what that is. Don't be like these guys.
WKD.
Scout says gaslighting you guys.
Corona is piss water. Who keeps bringing up Coronas on these streams and chats I'm in? Everyone's like, "Oh, Corona."
JD's nice. JD is nice.
I can't deal.
Corona beer is only popular because of COVID. I swear down. I never heard of Corona before COVID.
That is piss water. Now, if you want something really gross, so Corona's like it's a Mexican beer. It's like a very light. I mean, if it's really hot,
all that.
But the real one is a Modelo. Ugh.
Yeah,
Modelo. Honestly, it's more of a. It's more of a dark.
I can't drink black coffee, by the way. I just can't drink black coffee. Like I try to drink black coffee, my throat closes. It's like nah.
What?
That's rude, Tony.
Oh, that is rude.
He was in there.
Martin's on his way. He'll be here in 5 minutes, and he'll be
here
like,
shortly.
"Who's this Tony guy? Tony's about to get run."
Boss.
Nuki Browns. Nuki Brown.
Nuki
Man,
Brown?
They are. Yeah, that's right. He
I
gives
don't
some
understand half
paddy
of it.
whiskey. It's gone for alcohol now. They're not
I guess
football.
so.
It's just
We're
doing
turning
it-
into the drunk stream. I ate a bunch of food, so I'm not going to get drunk in this one.
It's gone.
I'm
it's
saving
gone-
the
it's
drunk
gone-
stream for Pat. 4,500K.
Right.
Everyone, chat, go subscribe to True City Fan. If you want to see me drink an entire bottle of wine on the stream, go subscribe.
Yeah, I saw
One
that.
bottle is not that much.
I did see that.
Let's see. I think my all-time craziest night.
Records, Sid. Records.
Six adults over the course. It was Christmas Eve. We went through 10 bottles of wine while one person was only drinking. Well, she only drank like 2 glasses. So we calculated it out between the rest of us. We each had 2.5 bottles of wine. And then I went to at Christmas Eve. So I went to Mexican Christmas Eve and I walked in the door and they were just giving me shots of tequila. So that's another thing. I don't know how I was alive after that one.
I'm not a massive drinker. I'm generally I drink socially, but so basically, I'll tell you this story because it's quite funny. But my mate used to do like man and van kind of work, so he'd go around and do like removals and stuff like that. And he ended up doing a removal job of a pub, and he ended up getting a massive case of bottles of champagne as part of the job. And they said to him, "Oh, you can either tip it or you can keep it." So, and this was just before my 20th birthday. So, on my 20th birthday, it's when we lived together, we shared an apartment, and I'd gone through 3 bottles of champagne in about 25 minutes. But what I'd done is, we put them into pint glasses. Like I put it in, and I was literally just downing them. And I did 3 bottles of champagne in about 25 minutes, and I was gone. Like I woke up at about 9 o'clock the following morning on the bathroom floor with my legs between the toilet, and my head was out of the door. And my head was pounding. And after that, I've never, ever drank champagne again. Never again.
I've never done that, right?
Fair.
I've only been drunk like once, but like about like blackout drunk
He's
once.
not calling me tits out Jackie after.
Yeah, not
Like I just don't drink that much. When I drink it, it's like 1 or 2 glasses, at most 3.
See, with me, I just kind of drink. With me, like, I tend to have like a few Guinnesses in there, but I don't really drink. Time I do go for it. I sort of go.
I don't drink on my days off, and I'm off at work today.
I must say, while we're on the stream, drink sensibly.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Don't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive. Drink awareness.
Also, in America, you can actually get if you get pulled over while drunk driving, it's called a DUI.
Yeah.
Which is driving under the influence, or DWI, driving while intoxicated. You can technically get that same ticket if you're on a bicycle.
It's nice.
But in all fairness,
no, if you're in America, don't think the bicycle is going to save you.
Most people in America,
an Uber,
so rural.
It'll be the best money you ever spend. Just pay for the Uber.
Most people in America,
literally nobody. The worst you're gonna do is you're gonna vomit in the back of the Uber and pay a cleaning fee. You're not gonna endanger anybody's life.
Sorry,
my friend did that in Vegas.
I've just seen Steve Black's comment.
Which one?
Oh, what the real one? Yeah, I know. It's gonna meme now. It's gonna meme now. Yeah, it's gonna meme.
Don't tell that to Adam. He'll make an AI generation of that.
He's gonna do it at some point. He's gonna do it.
We need to get an AI generated image of that pep thing you talked about, Luke. Pep going around roundabouts.
Yeah. Oh god.
Great man stream, by the way.
Yeah. We're talking about the rebuild, and we're just going on about drinking alcohol.
Stream, like way too early.
You know what it is? this season has gotten us into alcoholism. That's what happens.
Yeah, we're just well enough.
Facts. Oh, that wasn't the season.
So we blame Pep
I
Guardiola.
think I'm just genetically predisposed.
Hey, by the way, Pep Reijnders has absolutely given me a get out of jail free card, yeah? Because if I say Pep out now, I can just say it's Pep Reijnders.
Oh, no, you said it before. We're holding you to it.
No, he's being shameless.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Get out of jail free
Judge
card.
Mo stream and you're like Pep out. I was getting
Yeah.
DMs from city people being
Come
like,
from
"What
you,
the hell
Steve.
is this
Come
guy
on.
talking about?"
Come
I'm
from
like,
you.
"Oh, no, it's his opinion. Message him, not me."
Juan Malilo is well, he's probably gone now, so I can't blame him anymore. You're right,
That
back
guy
to
was
football.
worthless. What was the point of him even being there? He didn't do anything. He set up the defense like trash, and he never challenged Pep. You think somebody in the team would be like, Pep, hey, guess what? These old players don't work. Look at this beautiful new midfielder you bought. Why don't you play him?
He didn't even speak English. He did not even speak English. How long did he work at Man City, by the way?
Wait, he was there before. He was there before. Was it about 2 years before and they left? I can't remember how long he was there for.
Have you seen Pep's comments on the rebuild of the back room squad and things?
I think I've seen.
I have.
It's
today,
pull up City Extra. It was on there literally about half an hour ago.
Yeah,
my friend just spammed me the Fabrizio. He's like, "Oh, the fee's so high." He's giving me crap because Ornstein had a lower quote this morning. He's like, "Oh, it's actually 70 million." I'm like, so
it could go up to 70
I think
million.
That's a great price. That's a great price. That's less than 60 million quid.
Yeah.
That's a great price. I think he's exactly what we need. I said that this is literally the number one signing I wanted to make this summer. Because we're basically like, he's got Gundo's skill set. And that's what we've been missing for 2 seasons is Gundo's skill set. I mean, yeah, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some refinement, but he has the tools, to get him into the team. That's who I wanted him more than I wanted Verts. And we signed him. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited about the signing.
Yeah, Tijjani, right? It's an absolute quality signing for this. No doubt about it.
This is how I know it's rattling because my friend is I'm getting bombarded by messages being like Milan got a great deal, highway robbery, blah blah blah.
Oh, you know,
that's how I know you're rattled.
Yeah, it's a good signing when you've got rival fans saying, "Oh, why is City spending so much money again?" Like at that point, it's like, okay, it's a good signing. Otherwise, people would just be saying, "Haha, look at this player that City signing."
Like, they're literally melting down on Twitter about they're like, Pep bought a 60 million pound or whatever Nico Gonzalez in January and he already dumped him. I'm like, he's not going anywhere. What are you talking about? Like he's gonna play a lot of games next season.
Especially the fact that we've got Pep Reijnders from Liverpool, and we've also just brought on James French, who's been the opposition analyst.
Look up James French, by the way. Look up James French on Google. I was doing a stream earlier, and I saw that James French news, so I looked him up, and I got out of like some American serial murderer. I was like, what is this stuff, man?
Right, here we go. Right. So.
While you're on it, Luke, look up James French.
I'll do that in a bit. Hold on. Let's try and get on StreamYard. Reload. Being very slow. Come on. Right, we'll zoom in a little bit.
I'm just seeing the
Yay!
I saw the City Extra tweet.
So Pep on what City need in the summer transfer window. Give me good players. The rest doesn't matter. Good players can adapt and adjust. We will adapt the movement tactics or whatever we say man to the quality of players, and especially players that can Anfield, the Bernabeu, Camp Nou, or whatever, and say I'm going to play my best. That's different players have that. But we're just not adjusting for the fact that we had a tough season. If we win, I don't have to adjust. That is a mistake. When you win, you also have to adjust day by day, game by game, week by week. We're going to adjust things. But I just won the Community Shield. So basically, he said, give me good players there.
Or turning to the English Super Cup.
Super Cup shake.
The Hamza calls it because the Community Shield, the English Super Cup.
That's shameless. That is shameless. I'm sorry, it is shameless.
Pep Guardiola included that just to take the piss. Let's be honest.
He did.
Well, the good news is we're not playing in that game this year.
Didn't Arsenal and Tottenham share the Community Shield in the 1990s at some point? They shared it, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
I believe it was 1991, was it?
That's it, yeah. I think so. Yeah, right.
Like, how can you take that trophy serious? Literally, biggest rivalry in London, arguably in England at that point in time, because the Man Derby wasn't as relevant at the time, because only United was winning trophies then. So that is probably the biggest rivalry in England at the time, and they shared a trophy. Like, it's not a major honor. It really isn't.
Yeah, but no, the thing is, right, I mean, Lord Pep says, right, it's like, yeah, you're right, but it's just a lot of waffle here. It's just saying the same thing in different ways. Yeah. I mean...
you've been taking notes from Fabrizio.
Yeah. We're
advancing, moving along, almost there, FC.
Discussing the deal. You know, in negotiate, it's like, oh, come on, man.
That Lee Gunner clip has never been more relevant. I'm just over it. There's someone in a group chat I'm in who will post literally every single article, and a bunch of us are just like fed up. We're just like, can you just shut up until we get here we go. Like, I'm like,
no. We need that stuff because I milk it.
Yeah, you do milk it every night.
You know how I got over 900 by milking that shit. I need this,
bro. You and Patrick every day. Oh, there you go. Another stream. There you go. Both just milking. I don't blame you.
We are talking about the same thing.
He keeps doing them when I'm asleep, so I keep missing him.
Right, Pep on Man City's backroom staff changes. I'm going to lose people I adore, and it means something. But I've been in the last 15 years, a lot left. Everyone cheated on me. Right. Wow. Okay.
I think that last one is a joke. I think that everyone cheated on me thing.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's like, okay.
No, they didn't cheat on you. They left you. They dumped you because they went to, like, Maresca dumped you because he went to another team. They dumped you.
But new ones, younger people, new players always bring energy. And it revitalizes a lot. Energy myself will give me energy. See the eyes, the new faces. I want to do it. I want to be here. New little details in training. It's new energy. Energy for itself is one more Premier League more, one UCL war, one Community Shield more. This guy's shameless. Community Shield flexing. It's not.
He's only flexing it because it's the only thing we want this season.
Exactly. But he dinner plate. So we also last year. It's not going to change my life probably more or less a City, but with people, they give you more energy day by day. That is why changing players and stuff is good. I mean, yes, that's true, but you were also the same guy that was saying that actually I need players back, not new players.
Yeah. The shame when Pep starts fucking Bernardo Silva every game next season.
Is it my dad in the first group game he starts? Oh mate, if he starts
Echeverry starting that game, which by the way, shameless plug, there will be a watch along on True City Fan Channel.
I'm probably going to be in Greece, getting pissed watching it. So
that sounds way more fun. I spent all my vacation time, or most of it, this year, so I'm going to be stuck here all summer. So, I mean, thankfully, it's not a terrible place to be stuck, but I don't get to do any cool trips like Greece this summer. I already did my trips earlier this year.
So basically, apparently, back is it on Monday? Is it? I think. Well, not everyone.
Tomorrow.
But
June 5th is tomorrow.
Well, no, read it.
For you guys, it's like in a couple of hours.
If come on June 5th training and we start. If you read what he's saying, he said that they come back tomorrow, but I think it's going to be Monday instead. Yeah.
So 4 days later would be the 9th. Oh, right when the window ends. Guess who will be there when they report back, hopefully?
Rumble Reijnders going to be there so far.
Reijnders. I can't wait for people to make the movie poster. Did anybody see that fantastic Ben Affleck movie called Reindeer Games?
Oh,
it's like Christmas action movie. A friend or die hard.
Nick, brilliant. It is true, though, to be fair. It is true.
I wonder what the
Arsenal.
percentage of those are.
Arsenal claim the Community Shield because it's the only trophy that separates Man City from Arsenal right now. Because one more trophy and Man City is right there with Arsenal.
Yeah. Oh, just why, right? For me, right, I actually think we should take this seriously, this tournament, because chance to win
A lot of money
a trophy
on the line.
again. Yeah, and also I want to see. I want
Also,
to see.
if we win it. Also, if we win it, it'll pay for a lot of these transfers.
Yeah,
So I
it
think
will.
it's 120 million US dollars, which I think somebody broke it down. I could do it right now. I got an app. I think it's like close to 90 million pounds. That would pay for like Reijnders and Turkey. Like just, and that's not including sales. Let's see.
Well,
Okay, so
well,
120.
the thing is, right? People are also forgetting as well. Like,
Yeah, 88 million pounds.
Even after we get Shirky and Ariane, that isn't it. That isn't like it's over. There's more to come, but I imagine it'll be down free for the moment. I can't see a scale of Mento in 6 days. I think that will be a player that they'll probably go for in probably like July, start of August, probably. Because if Jack's out the door, that's one player gone. But I don't know. I mean, what's going to do somebody, reckon? Rico?
But like
McAtee?
with these players, with all the players we're gonna get out now. The first players people mention are Jack Grealish, Carl Walker, Rico Lewis. Like those are the first players.
Yeah, they're
people
not
mention.
really a big part of our team.
Yeah, I agree. They're not a big part of our team, but they're all homegrown. And I hate to beat this guy. I really do hate to beat this guy. But currently, with Reijnders coming into our team, we have 19 or 20 not homegrown players. And that is not including Victor Hayes, who doesn't count yet, but in 2 years he will. If he's still
Echeverry doesn't count either.
Echeverry doesn't count. I believe he counts next season. I'm not sure. How old is Echeverry next season?
Echeverry just turned 19, so he's got like 2 more years at least. Savio and Kusanov, this is their last year of not counting, but they will next year.
Yeah, next season they count already.
But also, I think Rico will count
already,
next season as homegrown if he stays, because he'll be old enough next season. That's the thing. Like, we have like academy prospects. It's just really annoying that you have to wait till they're like 21, 22 for them to actually count as homegrown. Because like, I feel like that should be our pipeline to more homegrown players. But the fact that they have to wait so long is just so tricky.
But that's on purpose.
Got around it because like Arsenal got around it with like Saliba is homegrown, but he went on loan for a few years. And then he came back, but he's been in their academy so long that he counts as homegrown. And I think David Raya is the same way because he was in, before he went to Brentford, he was in another English team. So he counts as homegrown. Like we gotta start doing some of that.
Do you know what? Speaking of this recent news, I'll start back first. The thoughts on the Grealish news today about him not being in the Club World Cup squad.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think it speaks volumes. I think with him not being in the Club World Cup, it kind of says to me that he's on his way out. Yeah. Again, this isn't really a shock. I kind of expected him to be leaving anyway.
He's killing its value though.
How much money do you think we can get for Grealish?
I think we'll get between 30 and 40 mil.
You think we'll get that much for Grealish? With his wages included, for Tottenham?
I think you could get 30 to 35 million pounds for it.
Yeah.
But Tottenham don't really pay big wages,
because of
so
the
he'd have
wage.
to accept the wage. He'd have to accept our wage cut.
He will.
Yeah, I can't see us even considering an offer for less than 35 million for him. I don't see it.
Well, we won't consider an offer for less than 35 million because of PSR. Because if we sell him for like 25 million, it's a loss under the PSR because of the amortization with Grealish. So his book value at the moment, like I don't know what the period was for the amortization, but I believe his book value is currently at 33 million. So that still needs to be paid off. And if you sell him for, let's say, 25 million, that's like a 5 million or 10 million like loss.
Well, the way you work it out, we've signed him for 100 million over, I think, was it a 5-year deal he signed for?
Yes, 5 years. That's the problem. I don't know. Years. I don't know how much years it is.
So what happens is you basically do that 100 divided by 5, so that works out at 20.
No, you don't, 20. Because we bought him on August the 5th, and like you can have special cases where you only pay for the amount of days you've had him. So you have a 5-year contract, but it ends up being paid over 6 years because you only have him for, like, let's say 100 something days in the calendar year. So August the 5th, I'd have to look up what the exact number is. But like, I studied accounting, by the way, so this is my age. But
it works around.
We're gonna take a loss on Jack is basically what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
If you don't sell him, for like 35 million pounds, we take a loss.
I cannot imagine anybody paying 35 million for him with his wages. I feel like we'd be lucky to get 20 million. Like, that's like just a massively terrible contract. 300K a week. Nobody is going to pay a premium like what we need to break even on him with those wages.
Yeah, the thing is, though, is I think he will sacrifice a lower salary just to be getting game time. Because the guy will want to be pushing himself for the next World Cup.
I don't know if he will.
He definitely will. He will want to be at that next World Cup, 1,000,000%. And he knows that staying at City and sitting on the bench, because he will just be holding bench, he is not going to get a place in the World Cup if he stays at City. So I think at this point of his career, he's going to sacrifice. He's going to sacrifice salary over game time, just to make sure. Because the thing is, Jack Grealish himself, he's what, 30, 31, something like that?
29, 30? Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah.
So, effectively, he might only have one more World Cup in him.
Yeah.
But realistically, he only has one more in him. If he even reaches the World Cup.
But exactly. So, he's going to try his damn hardest to make his name in that squad for the next World Cup and potentially the next Euros. I think after the next Euros and the next World Cup, like, yeah. So, yeah, it'd be interesting.
50 million.
I love that. I love that. We've got 50 million for Jack, but I can't see that.
Is that dollars, Slows? Is that dollars? Because I know you're American. Maybe she means dollars.
If we get that, I'll be like, yeah, all right, I'll take that. Half price.
Absolute scam.
All right. It's the thing. Like, I mean, I think with Jack, I reckon in about a month or so time, I'll be out the door. Within that time, I think soon.
I think sooner. I think it'll be wrapped up in the next few weeks because I think he'll want to get himself away and get himself on holiday because the other thing is as well is he's also got a baby now to think of. So let's face it, he's not going to go to United, is he? So regardless, he's going to have to relocate.
Yeah.
And relocating, he's going to have to look for a new house. He's going to have to make sure that the area is comfortable for him, his missus and his kid. He's going to,
Then why go to London?
There's
rumors that his wife is very happy in Manchester.
Well, she's going to have to be unhappy.
So was Mahrez's wife, by the way.
He could go to
Arabia.
Yeah, but
he could go to Everton.
Yeah, isn't London very
his wife was from Cheshire.
Yeah, Mahrez's wife is Taylor from Cheshire.
Yeah, she's from Cheshire, and she was also dating Aguero at one point, wasn't she?
It's called wife roulette. Arsenal do it as well. Was it Zinchenko and who else? They shared wife, guys.
As long I was going to say, as long as Thomas Partey ain't sharing anyone around. Like,
Ooh.
Do not
Yeah.
mention that name
and,
in front of me. Please do not mention
31.
that name in front of me.
30. Oh, the bad
He is,
31.
he is number 5. That's all
I'm
we
on 5.
say.
I've got his 5 now. Yeah, I forgot he's number 35. Whatever. I'm just remember numbers now.
I got people ripping on me in the chat because I won't say his name. They're like, "You're just being a hater." I'm like, "No, I'm a woman." And when that shit happens to you, you don't joke around with that stuff no more.
Who?
Okay, sorry. Awkward.
Oh, this is yeah.
This is facts. Steve has cracked the case. Steve has cracked the case.
What is that comment? What was that comment?
So there's a lot of players I don't name.
Yeah, and one's big up for Midfield.
Phillips as well, for different reasons. Because he's not out of books. You think
back on PSG?
You think that we can sell Calvin Phillips, by the way? Because
oh my, he put a 6-year contract. I'm looking at this thinking like, okay, good, the end is near, and they're like, no, he's 3 more years. I'm like, oh, what do we do?
I think someone had a blunt when they gave him that contract. So someone was stoned out of their minds.
I think they was.
I have an idea.
There was some powder involved.
I have an idea. John Stones looks like he's leaving to Everton right now. So Everton, that's in Liverpool, is close to Manchester. Grealish can go to Everton as well. Takes him off our hands. And then Calvin Phillips will loan out to Everton. He can sit on the other bench. And then they have a few experienced City players, if you want to call Calvin Phillips that. How much football has Phillips played in the past 5 years?
That's the thing. Even for us, it's someone as well. But I barely see him play for either team. Like he's on the bench
He's just enjoying the wages, bro. He's just enjoying the rich life. Man City have given him a life.
150K a week for 6 years.
For the play, that's just
I literally question. Like, I hope whoever gave him that contract. I hope it was Omar Barada because he's gone. Because I'm like, if somebody is still at the club who gave that guy the contract, they need to be sacked immediately.
Well, what was that? I mean,
you know what I think? You know what I think happened? You know what I think happened with that contract? They were trying to find someone to hold bench pretty much all season and to accept a bench role, but still someone that's good enough. They thought Phillips is good enough. Let's give him a big wage, a big contract to keep him on the bench and keep him happy. But then he just never worked out for us. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, no.
But why are we spending that much money on a bench player? Like, we have Scott Carson. Do we need more than one?
We don't have Carson anymore.
Well, we did. We did at the time.
Let's get Fortson.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a weird thing. Carson leave the club. No longer the
I feel like giving
he's not leaving the
that
club,
big
though.
wage.
He's probably becoming a coach.
Yeah.
Well, I do feel like the problem I have with the Phillips contract is the wages, because normally we don't do that. Normally we'll give somebody like a low wage, and then when they prove themselves, we'll give them a big extension. Like Julian Alvarez, I think, was on like 50K a week or something when we signed him. And then after his first season, they immediately like tripled his pay because he performed so well. Like, he earned it. So we rewarded him right away. We did that with Diaz. I feel like there's others that I just can't think of off the top of my head. But we usually do that. For him, for Nunes, we just gave him...
2 pounds. Big up, man.
Oh.
Big up. That's our first ever, I think, donation. I think. Wow. So big up to you for doing that, man. Big up, man. Much appreciated.
Like super chats.
Yeah, that's our first ever event. So yeah, big up for that.
Is that your first ever super chat?
Yep,
Now you've got to glaze him for the next 5 years.
Are going to open.
Oh god,
we're going to get some.
Formidable. Give this guy a job at Man City. I don't care what's job. Just get him a job.
Yeah, but big up, bro.
Although, to be fair, his super chat was big upping someone in the chat and not us.
Yeah, he paid you money. He paid you money to give you a backhanded. It's pretty much a backhanded compliment here. It's like it's some money, but I'm not going to praise you. I'm going to praise someone else. By the way, let's actually talk about Reijnders because it's the title here, Reijnders. And I was talking earlier. It's not about beer, contrary to popular belief. Reijnders, I was talking earlier in my stream.
Another one of those. I'll be right back.
I was talking earlier in my stream. Tijjani Reijnders. It's going to help our wingers because you think back at the Grealish's goal. Who was it against? I can't remember, but the Grealish scored a goal this season. And it was from Savio cutting inside. He passed the ball backwards. Grealish scored. And that is what we've needed in this team. When wingers cut inside, someone to crash the box and to pick up the ball from them. That Reijnders is going to bring a lot. So Reijnders, by crashing the box, is going to make our wingers a lot more productive. I think Marmoush is probably going to be a winger, but he'll invert. So it will be Aitnouri. He's going to help Aitnouri there. He's going to help whoever plays on the right wing and who's cutting the ball back. He's going to help Haaland by being a presence in the box. He's also very good on headers. If you look at half his goals, it's headers from corners. Now, we've been bored on corners, but you get Rodri, you get Reijnders, you get Haaland, you get, I don't know, whoever else. Tjijjani even. Tjijjani is pretty physical. If you get all of these guys here in the box and you get a good corner taker, I don't know who is a good corner taker, but there has to be some good corner taker there. Maybe Savio, maybe whoever. You get a good corner in. Reijnders is someone who can score these corners. All we need now is a good set-piece coach, hopefully. We've not had that for since Arteta left. Uncomfortable conversations.
James Friend.
So let's hope we get a good set-piece coach here. And let's see how Reijnders improves the wingers, I think, because I think a lot of people are talking about improving the midfield. And yeah, he's going to do that because he can run, unlike Gundogan, Kovacic, and the uncles. But let's see how he improves the wingers as well. Because not only can he run here, he also will make runs, which is not a thing entirely. Because think about this here. If we have the ball at the halfway line, let's say Nico Gonzalez or Rodri has the ball at the halfway line, and they're playing a mid-block against us. Kovacic does not make runs in behind. Bernardo Silva does not make runs in behind. Reijnders, he's going to make a run. He's not going to get the ball. He's not going to do much. He's just going to make a run. It's just going to be a straight run. It's not going to be very impressive, but he'll make the run. And what will happen is one centre back or one midfielder will have to follow him, which means someone else is going to get free. Foden maybe is going to get free to get onto the ball. Haaland, if they're for some reason leaving Haaland alone, might get onto a ball. Or one of the wingers will become liberated to get a ball. So that way, Reijnders helps the team a lot, I think, or I hope, in just creating space, getting to goals, and then also the defensive part, because he can be trusted to sit back a bit while Rodri pushes up the pitch. And Rodri is very good at going up the pitch. He can play long balls as well, but so can Rodri. And I think you have that partnership, yeah? But not just improving the midfield, like people are looking at. You're improving the attack as well, and you're improving the transition. Because Reijnders, he'll run box to box. He's not like Kovacic, who will try to run but can't keep up. He's not like Bernardo Silva, who's just staying back. He's going to run box to box, and he's going to try to stop counters from happening. He's going to make a dirty foul sometimes because Serie A player, it's in their blood. But he's going to try to make those fouls to stop counters. And I think he just improves it all round.
Yeah, no, I agree on that one. I think he's just he's a different player to what I've had already. He can score goals. He can get, he can get assists. He's a player that will just add so much more to our squad. What we need. I
want to go back to something you mentioned earlier about corners. We need to have a serious conversation on who's taking them. I'm sorry, De Bruyne's corners last season were not very good, and Gundogan's are not good. I think that you need to put Marmoush on them because Marmoush's corners from the left look really good, and Foden's from the right look pretty damn good.
Aitnouri takes
and
corners
Marmoush is
as
also
well,
good
doesn't
for
he?
kicks.
Aitnouri takes corners for the Wolves.
Oh, does he?
I
I'm
believe
not
he
going to
does.
pretend I watch a lot of Wolves.
I think he
I don't
does,
see
yeah.
it, but
I
believe
literally
he does.
watch him twice this season when he plays.
Let me
City.
fact check
I don't watch Wolves any
myself.
other game. Well, good. Well, we need the younger legs taking the corners because I think that's one reason they've been so bad. I think the what was it? The Nottingham Forest semifinal in the FA Cup was a prime example. Like Marmoush took the corner and he assisted a goal, and then Gundogan came on, immediately took the next corner, and it was a terrible corner. I'm like, why is Gundogan taking the corner when Marmoush is on the pitch? I don't care about the seniority garbage. You're making our team weaker intentionally just to satisfy somebody's ego. Like, get him off the corners. Gundogan's not good at corners anymore. Like, put the best players in their best position to succeed, and the team will do well. It's accommodating for the older players was what ruined our season last season. It was just so frustrating.
It needs to be, right? Pick two best corner takers in training, the ones that deliver the best opportunities into the box practice. They're right. You two, both on the pitch, are taking corners. If either you're off, get a third choice on. That way, you've always got someone taking the corner is good. After that, it's down to the people in the box to get the goal. Yeah, I'm not asking to score every corner, but with Haaland, Diaz,
it would be
unstoppable.
We'd score 30 goals a game if that was the case.
Yeah, it would be nice, but it ain't gonna happen.
I'm telling you, Marmoush on the left, Foden on the right. That should be our corner.
Foden to take corners.
Foden right has had good corners. You remember the Wolves game? Who assisted John Stones? It was Foden.
Yeah, but it's not like he's consistently good on his corners. It's like De Bruyne. He takes one good corner, then he takes 5 poor ones.
Well, who would you prefer?
It's Nuri.
Do you want Gundogan or Bernardo taking a corner?
I don't want them at the club next season.
Well, unfortunately, we're probably going to be stuck watching them play every game next season because I don't know how we get rid of them.
Gundogan is going to Galatasaray. I pray every day. Thank me when he leaves.
Bernardo has been praying to leave for how long, and this is the season for him to go, and he's not going to go.
Bernardo finally said, "I'm going to say."
Like Bevo has been whining about, we keep losing these players for free.
Yeah,
it's facts. Your point on that is facts.
Yeah, but that's what happens when you don't sell the players at the correct time. I said during the summit of 24, we need to sell Bernardo because next season we won't be able to. And I said, go buy Olise. And at the time, everyone was saying, Olise ain't all that, and Bernardo can still go a season. And now everyone is saying, oh, we should have bought Olise, and Bernardo is washed. So he was washed already in the fourth beat, let's be honest. We could see at the end of the fourth beat he was done. And when these players, when they stop being able to do it week in, week out, that means it's the last point where you can sell them. So either you're going to let them retire at your club, or you're going to sell them so that you can get as much money from them as you can. Bernardo was never going to retire at Man City. He's only 31 years old. De Bruyne, okay, he could have retired maybe if he handled things better, but he's leaving on a free now. That didn't need to happen. Bernardo, he's going to leave on a free in 2 years from now.
A year from now. A year. Is it a year from now, I think? It's gone.
It's 1 year from now, then. 1 year from now. Gundogan, if we don't sell him to Galatasaray, he's leaving on a free. Does he retire? Does he go elsewhere? I'm not sure. But all these players that we're letting go for the free, it's a problem, man, because people talk about how well run we are as a club and our net spend, which I think net spend is it doesn't show a lot, to be honest. It shows that you buy big players and sell big players to me. But net spend is something that a lot of Man City fans brag about. That net spend is going to go downhill if we keep doing this.
Yep.
The only reason on that
we
spend,
don't even sell like first teamers. We just sell academy players, and that's what pads out the net spend.
The only reason
I did realize Alvarez was a massive sale, but most of that profit we made last summer was from academy players and sell-on clauses and all that stuff. So I think we do a really poor job of selling like first teamers because we just keep them forever, and we kept too many of them past their prime. We needed to be more ruthless. We should have let Kyle Walker go to Bayern Munich when he wanted to go, because we could have gotten some money for him.
Yeah,
That's why we got to look at
you know
Nunes,
what's
Akanji, and
painful, yeah?
Kovacic. Those are players we could get money for, but Kovacic obviously we're not going to sell because he just had surgery. But Nunes and Akanji are players we can make money off of, especially Akanji because we bought him for pennies. Like he needs to be in serious consideration to be sold this summer because we could actually make a
He
profit.
needs to be
off of
sold
him.
because we can make money off him. Like this is the thing. I don't care if he's good enough for next season. We have enough centre backs. We need to get rid of a centre back. We're not going to have 6 centre backs next season. Pep already crying about squad size. So our centre back has to leave. Akanji, I don't care if you're good enough. One of these guys has to leave. They're all good enough. Who can we get money out of 5 years down the line? Not Akanji. So he has to go now. It's that simple.
Yeah, this is the time to sell him. Because also, because when Pep says he wants to thin the squad down, he doesn't mean the young players that we just bought. He means he wants those players to go and he wants to keep the old guys. And I'm like, did you just not pay attention to this whole season? Like, we were terrible because our older players are bad. They're not good anymore. They're old. That's why we struggled all season. Like, you have to get rid of them.
Younger than you, by the way.
You want to improve, you have to play younger players with actual legs who can actually do the tactics that you're telling them to do.
Yeah, I agree. I
don't
agree
understand what the
completely.
disconnect is.
But we've waited too long to sell most of these guys. Let's be honest.
Exactly.
I think Ederson, by the way, you can't get a good price anymore for him. If he lets him go to Saudi, I think that would have been a better decision. That's retrospectively saying that. I wasn't saying that back in the summer. So I'm not going to pretend I was saying that back in the summer, last summer. But I think retrospectively, we should have let Ederson go as well earlier. And
yeah, we should have sold him last summer because he didn't want to be here.
Yeah, and
we just demanded too high of a fee, and I'm like, just lower it a little bit. Like, I think we wanted 30 million, and like take 25 or 20 because he's been here for however long. Like, you're still fine book wise.
I don't like to praise Real Madrid, but I'm going to praise Real Madrid here. The thing they do better than any other club in the world, they know when to let a player go. Real Madrid just know. There's something magical going on in that dressing room. The moment Real Madrid decides a player has to go, they're washed. Like Casemiro, take Casemiro as the most recent example.
Casemiro, they got 60 million for him.
Yeah, and people still thought
60 million for Bernardo Silva, any of these players.
Casemiro still looked good when they sold him, but he lands at Man United, he's looking washed. Like Real Madrid know when to sell a player, and we have to learn how to sell a player at the correct time before we lose out money on those players. Take Cristiano Ronaldo even. Real Madrid was never going to get as much money out of Ronaldo
if they kept him for 80 million for him or something.
Yeah, and that was in 2018. That was in 2018. So to get that amount of money for a player of that age is ridiculous. But Real Madrid knew if we keep him for 2 or 3 more years, we're not going to be able to sell him. Now, of course, Ronaldo did want to leave. That was part of it. But it looks like he's been taken hostage.
Yeah,
no, he doesn't.
Right.
No, he doesn't.
Right, guys, you both chat.
Alpha and I have taken over the stream, Luke. We're going to lock Luke.
Yeah. I run him in on you guys, right? As you've got your own channel, go and do it yourself. Right. Beva, what are you going to say, mate, just now? Because obviously you're about to say something there. Go on. I'll take charge now. Go on.
I can't remember.
For God's sake.
It's long gone. I've been sat here like Kevin De Bruyne saying, "Let me talk." Like,
hey, I'm the Belgian. I'm the Belgian.
So you can...
Nah, it's all. I can't remember. It's gone. Like, but it's all good.
Remember it, know. Then you can say it.
It's the long hair. It makes me talk.
Germany just scored.
Sorry,
Birch just scored for Germany.
Yeah, the goal
from the first half.
Guys, let me just tell you this about Wirtz. He's going to Real Madrid on a free.
You know what? I think I'll tell you why it might be right there because Paul's interest, right? It's still there, but it's been. You notice how how quiet it's gone. Like, it's interested still, but it's not quite. Was it like a week ago?
Yeah.
No, what would be hilarious?
He just scored.
Florian Wirtz to Barcelona on a free.
But this is what I mean. Like, if Liverpool were going to get him, it'd been done by now. It'd been here we go confirmed. Liverpool.
I don't agree though, because Liverpool is not in the Club World Cup, right?
No.
So they've got more time to get these deals done than us. So they're on a bit of a different timetable.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't know. Just feels a little bit like because I think to me, right, if we were going after Wirtz and Wirtz wanted to come to us, I think it would have been at least been done or been sorted out.
The interesting thing about Wirtz and Liverpool saga is that Liverpool actually looked as an alternate transfer if in case Wirtz doesn't happen, and they looked at Turkey, and Turkey's turned around and said, "I ain't going Liverpool, I'm going City." So, like they could end up really messing up next week. Next week because I was reading Nick's thing. They could really mess up here. Like if they don't get Wirtz, then their second option was Turkey, who's already on his way to City. So.
But realistically speaking, they have a third option lined up, right? If they'd well run.
Well, do we know that at all?
Well, you say that, but you look at Khaldoon's interview. He said we've got our first and our second option. I don't think these clubs even consider a third option. I think they'll have like third, fourth, and fifth options just in case. But I don't think that they're in any sort of specific order. Like I think they clearly look at the main player that they want, and then the next step down is like the next best thing that they want. And they'll probably have like a third, fourth, and fifth on the list, but I don't think they'll actually know like who would be the third choice.
I'm not sure. I'd still be surprised if Liverpool miss out on Wirtz. I'm going to ban them until they fail to get until they actually get them over the line.
Right, for the price.
I was chatting shit with a Liverpool fan earlier today, and he said he's confident it gets done. I'm like,
if Liverpool enter Wirtz for the price that they say that they're going to get him for, I don't want to hear this bullshit about we've got a shoestring budget, we don't spend money.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear it.
They choose not to spend.
I'm not being funny.
Exactly.
That Virgil van Dijk was more expensive than Diaz or anyone else that we paid for. Alisson was a more expensive goalkeeper than Ederson. You know, you look at these signings that they're bringing in; they're all incredibly expensive. Nunes
wasn't Darwin Nunes? Yes, I was about to ask.
Like you look at the players that they're bringing in, and they go, "Oh, but we don't spend any money." It's bollocks. It really is.
Yeah, it is. Ooh.
Yeah, with Wirtz as well. Yeah, with Wirtz as well. Like that's let's say 150 million. Why are they giving this type of money to Arne Slot though, when they've never really given this type of money to Klopp? Like that just seems very weird.
That's a good question. I've wondered the same thing.
Like it's
Klopp
that
must be crying in RB Leipzig money right now.
I think we'll find out sooner rather than later though, because we're getting Reijnders and Frenchy boy on the way. So I think we'll find out a lot about Liverpool secrets in the next few
good.
weeks.
Yeah, well,
Liverpool fans downplay the Pep Linders guy.
Cal. French was there recently when they won the league on the slot. Champions League on the clock, all the trophies on the clock, and bear in mind at corners with Van Dijk and Arte, it is set pieces for them, which by the way we're appalling at. So already we have Diaz, Haaland, Rodri in the box, runners in the box, headers. So
I'm just wondering.
Get Haaland to score a few headers.
He will. I think he will. Haaland will.
It's awful with his
Haaland does. Haaland should be much
he's
better
bang average on headers. He's not woeful, but he's bang average on headers. You'd expect someone of his you'd expect someone of his size to be very good at headers, but he's bang average. And maybe I'm even generous to Haaland by saying that.
Oh, that's very generous. Like if you look at most of the chances that Haaland has when the ball's in the air, he tries to do some like mad ass karate kick with it, like rather than sticking on it. Like
he needs to go back to the basics.
Like that, I've said that on a previous watch along as well. I was like, why is he trying to karate kick this ball? Why doesn't he just go for it with his head? So sometimes he just needs to use his head, like literally use his head to get on a ball. Maybe he needs to train on that more. Maybe he needs to work on that more than training, unironically. You know what they need to do, yeah? They need to put Savinho on the left, Haaland on the right in training, 100 times after their training, just 100 crosses, Haaland scored. 100 crosses, Haaland scored. Just repeat that, bro. Get it into muscle memory. Because this guy needs to take better headers.
I think a team that video is I think with True Geordie playing football where he's heading at the ball like, wide or over the bar. I think that's what's going to happen. Swear, missed it again. Fucking hell, that's going to be a training session. I have to get it up next time when I describe that because obviously that's what Haaland do it when it comes to headers. It shouldn't be. It should be like Ibra, but it's not. Ibra was scoring goals like with his like long shots or that like that, but he can't heading with what Ibra used to do really well himself. It's really it's weird. But Haaland needs to learn how to head a ball. So like I feel like his headers are so weak. Like I'm about to get cooked here. I'm going to mention Alan Shearer. I did not watch Alan Shearer, but I've seen. I have seen Alan Shearer goals. I have watched the compilations, so I know how good Alan Shearer's headers were. I don't need to watch Alan Shearer to know that he has some good headers. If you go watch some clips of Alan Shearer, he's got some bullet headers in there, and I'm expecting Haaland to do that, yeah, when these crosses come in, but he just lets the ball fall on his head, like it's sport. Yeah.
He needs to improve on that. He talks about wanting to be the best, and he's taking advice from Thierry Henry after winning a Champions League and all this stuff. Go put the work in, buddy. Show me you're going to improve on your weak foot, and show me you're going to improve on headers.
Well, his weak foot is he's pretty good with his right foot, but
you know what the walk.
No, the problem is, Haaland, when he uses his right foot, he tends to score, but he just doesn't use it. Like he instinctively uses his left foot.
West Ham away, where like he absolutely hit it on the first time right foot shot. Right, I was at that game, and like if it's all three, was it with one left foot, right foot as a chip? I think it was. I remember that, but he's what he can do.
He's pretty good with his right foot, but he needs to just get that bad habit of using his left foot out of him. Like obviously, if you have time, go on your left foot. But like even then, like just use the foot that the ball is on. If you're a proper two-footed player, as I think every footballer should be, by the way. If you're a pro footballer and you can't use both feet, that's a bit of a disgrace, in my opinion. Even Lionel Messi, people cook Lionel Messi for being one-footed. Like just tell me you didn't watch Messi. Like go look up some goal compilations of Messi with his right foot. Like that's not a one-footed player. Haaland needs to get the instinct of using his left foot out of him. Because I don't think he's that bad with his right foot. I just think he is scared sometimes to use it.
Yeah.
Nah, well, shooting drills, like you said, every time, every game, every practice session, every training, 100 shots with your right foot.
Just master the basics. Let's be honest, just do the basics. Because that's
why we drool over certain players, because they have mastered the basics.
But that is why to me, right?
Has mastered the basics.
That's why for me, having some Nori in this team, if we get him in, right? Well, our fullbacks crossing the ball in finally. So instead of like ball to the line, pass back, pass.
Because center backs and Kyle Walker can't cross the ball.
No, like Josko's better at shooting at crossing the ball, which is because I'm centre back, but that's how good Volley was at shooting. But we need fullbacks that are just going to bomb down the wing, overlap with the wingers, and just get the balls in the box. Because the aim should be now find Haaland, make the defence what there are to stop Haaland, and then if we can't get to Haaland, well, one of Cherki, Foden, a shot on goal we score. That's how it should be from now on. Our Haaland focal point has to be that way now.
I agree, but you know as well, yeah. What winger except Grealish doesn't even count, what winger goes? Because I think one of the wingers, other than Grealish, will leave. So what winger goes in the summer?
Doku. Very easy.
Not Savio. Not Savio. Way too over Savio to go. Yeah.
I think if I don't think Doku's going to accept being a bench player.
We could be looking at.
And he's not. If we're doing a theoretical starting 11 right now, he's not the starting left winger. Omar Marmoush is. This is a World Cup season. This is leverage we can use to sell some of these players.
Bro, he's not
going
to
play
Doku,
like, look, you're not starting games.
He's not going to play the World Cup anyhow. He can play every game.
This is going to go crazy.
Bakayoko,
yeah, I think Doku he's on watch.
There are 3 better wingers in Belgium than Doku, unironically. Bakayoko, Bertassini, and Lucky Bacchio. Them 3 are all better than Doku. I'm not even kidding.
But Doku starts a lot of the games, doesn't he?
Under the previous guy, because he didn't watch Belgian football. But like that's how bad Belgian football management was. Our previous 2 coaches never watched Belgian football. How can you have someone doing your international team and they don't watch your league? Like, imagine if England went out and got someone who never watched the Premier League. Like, you can go get Tuchel. Okay, he's foreign, but he's watched the Premier League. But with a small country like Belgium, you can't go get any foreigner because most of them haven't watched the Belgian league. But that's what we've been doing.
Yeah,
I think Martinez wasted your golden generation.
Absolutely. We would have won the World Cup in 2018 if Nainggolan was there, and De Bruyne would have won the Ballon d'Or because he carried that team. Hazard was so bad. Hazard was so bad in 2018. But he did a few tricks in the France game, so people forgot about it. Ran the ball into nowhere constantly. So frustrating.
And the Chelsea fans tried to tell me Hazard was carrying that team that season. I'm like, no, De Bruyne.
The only good tournament Hazard has had for us was in 2016, and that's when he went out to Wales. That's the only time he's been good for us.
I need you to start fighting some of the Chelsea fans then, because they are insane.
Why?
They just think Hazard's the greatest thing since sliced bread. They're like, well, they're convinced that the only reason they made a run in 2018 was because of Hazard. They're like, he was way better than De Bruyne. It's like,
no,
we have eyes. We can see. We know it's De Bruyne carrying that team.
It's Mo Salah better than Hazard.
That's how you trigger him.
The problem with football these days is all about inputs, isn't it? If you're a winger, if you don't have the GAs, then you're not rated. Hazard, I don't think Hazard ever scored a double digit in the Premier League, but he's got some bad goals.
I'm talking about Foden having a historical fall off. Do we not remember Hazard's fall off after he won
Hazard
the season and then he scored 1 goal the next season?
Hazard has like 16, 12, 16 in the Premier League.
Oh no, is it the rat? Portugal just equalized.
See,
was it Stu, man?
Is it Vitinha? No, I can't say who it was.
Joe, big up Mateus. Good to see you, bro. Thoughts on the Reijnders transfer?
Is it signed?
It's done, I think.
It's here we go.
Reijnders?
So,
It's a done deal.
Mateus needs the big flag.
I think this is the sort of. I've watched him a few times, and he kind of reminds me of a young Gundogan, but with more goals in him. Do you know what I mean? More like he actually more physical than Gundo. But I watched the highlight. Fun enough, like I was just scrolling off YouTube and highlights of him against Real Madrid popped up. Bro, that guy is silky. Oh,
at the Bernabeu too. Just to be clear, and that wasn't at San Siro. That was at the Bernabeu.
He's a baller, man, and he's just what we needed. But we're gonna need a bit more in this window. We're gonna
Nuri. It's Nuri is looking like it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think my main concern going to the summer was the rebuild needs to start from the club, really. Last time we chat, I was like, first thing is what we need to do is Pep Guardiola needs new voices in his backroom staff. The goalkeeper coach, the set piece coach, they all need to go. The defensive coach, Lilo, all of them, they all need to go. Because we needed some fresh ideas, and we've been crying for fresh ideas for 2 seasons now. If you look at the way our defensive setup has been for the past 2 seasons, the way our press is, how easy we look at the Palace goal in the cup final from the goalkeeper, 2-3 passes, they onto it. Like the way they pass through our press.
There's no press
in our team.
Because our midfielders can't physically do anything they're being asked.
So,
and also Diaz is being completely wasted in a high line.
Yeah, and the problem is
it doesn't suit him at all.
Yeah, the problem is we always have been really strong in terms of winning the ball back quick through our press, and through also our midfield. One of the key pieces in that was Rodri. And but
everyone collectively failed at that this season.
At this season, we haven't had our Rodri. Bernardo, who was really good at that, fell off a cliff really.
Gundo, he should have stepped up when Rodri was out, and he didn't.
Golden, we all were thinking, right, okay, Frode is going to replicate the form that he had last season. Fell off a cliff. I know there's been personal issues in there, but at the end of the day, a lot of footballers, they go through personal issue, but they still perform. And I know we can't just use that as an excuse. He was really poor. You look at Jack Grealish, not the same. Even Haaland, his movement, he was not making any movement a few games. All he does is like, okay, it felt like Haaland was he because no one was putting the ball through. He stopped making those runs because at some point. So yeah, I think we need to change within the club. The backroom staff need to change it, and I've seen that we've got in the new assistant coach, a new set piece coach. What's his name again? Alfie. Is the what's it called?
Oh.
The ex-Liverpool sporting analyst.
French.
French.
James French.
Yeah, James French. I thought he was the American murderer. Do you know what I mean? Like you bring James French in here. So yeah. But another concern that I have is with the outgoings. I know everyone gets excited in terms of new players coming in, and we all do because obviously we need something new in our team. But we also need to be very concerned about the outgoings. We've got way too many players on a massive, massive contract that we're trying to offload this summer, and it's going to be really, really difficult.
You know what our squad size is, Matthijs, right now?
I think we're over 30 players now.
31 players is our current squad size.
There you go. And so we see we got Reijnders now. I believe he's been. I think someone else said that he's on 150k a week, which for the payoff is his quality is a fair wages because we pay 150k a week on Calvin Phillips.
Yeah.
Do you know what
I think Reijnders is getting the same wage.
Do you know what I mean? And if you get a Cherky and you put him on 150k a week and you don't offload the players like Gundo or Bernardo who are on 230 and 300k a week, then you've got your 2 new signers, which are combining wages of 300k a week. Then you've got Jack Grealish on 300k a week. John Stone on 250. It's a mad one. And so how
Can
are
I,
you going
can
to
I
do
just
it?
ask you, Luke, something about what you just built up? 23 million. We know the price. It's 30 million. That is
Yeah, I
25
know.
million pounds, and we're taking
Yeah.
the piss. 25 million
Just
pounds, and we're taking the
fucking
piss.
pay it. Just fucking pay
And
it.
then
Look,
I wouldn't
Yeah,
believe
if
on
we
that.
mess this deal up, then I'm gonna be really upset because this is like the cheapest deal you're gonna find in a
I
long
get
time.
negotiation, but you know what the price is going to be, lads. You can't play around with it. Just get it done. It's expensive. It's like £80 million. Go and get
Oh,
This guy
it
is
done.
an,
Patrick,
this
where's
is
the
an 80
Patrick
million pound
ITK?
player for 25 million.
Where is the Patrick ITK? I'm gonna.
He's somewhere.
Where is that?
Let me
He's
even
hoeing.
scroll to that.
He's hoeing right now. That's what he's doing. I'm like, you said this was a
Yeah,
done
I
deal,
think-
brother. I need to hear this.
Yeah, I wouldn't believe much on that. The simple fact is, see, the problem with the social media now when it comes down to transfer windows, these journalists, they don't know what's happening. Everything that they post on social media is what they get told. For example, there's certain clubs, what they do with the transfer window is they buy a player, they know the price, they'll pay the price, but they will tell the journalist, whoever runs the PR for the club, they'll say, oh, we bid in this, then next week we're going to increase the bid, we're going to come with a second bid. Everything is done. It's just, they just need to post like that to cause drama, to cause interaction on social media. So don't believe in much
So
in
we
that.
think it's done. We think this
yeah,
is a
I think
fugazi.
it's done. Yeah,
So this tweet is a fugazi.
yeah.
The thing is,
Just-
right? If we're being real,
ITK
right?
Mateus.
Why would City, right? Be real, right? Why would City think, you know what we're going to do? What we're going to do is actually bid way lower than the value just for the sake of it. No, you don't.
Yeah,
You
City
negotiate
wouldn't do that.
beforehand.
Yeah, City wouldn't do that. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So don't read too much into that. Yeah, listen, it's good to be linked to these
there's no way we're
technical players, but if you
I
look
thought
at
you were going to reply live, Luke.
yeah, if you look at them three
Yeah.
players,
Fuck's
Live on the air reply. Pay the money.
just triggered.
yeah,
Look,
yeah, go on.
yeah, the thing is, right? I think I'd want to get him. I think because the fact is, like Shirky said yes to us, the player wants to move. He will obviously get the deal done. I reckon by Friday. I reckon we'll get a confirmation on that deal probably. I think Nori probably after that, but I think both of them will get signed before the deadline. So I'm not worried about that really. I just want to just get it done with, get it sorted, and after that, go and sell players on like Grealish and that. Just get on with it now. Like
It's going to be really interesting. Who I know, like we can take up to 35 players on a Club World Cup.
About that,
yeah. I think are we taking KDB because he will still be on the
No,
contract?
he said he's
No.
not coming.
He's not going.
He's going happily, so he's
Yeah.
going. Yeah,
Yeah, but the transfer won't go through until.
But he doesn't want to go to the Club World Cup. He doesn't want to go.
Which
Which
is
is fair
fair
enough.
enough. Yeah.
So, yeah.
But are we taking players like Calvin Phillips, for example? Because he's
Who?
coming back to the club.
Who's he?
I've got a
We can't
massive
take him.
stream,
We
by
can't
the
take
way,
Kyle Walker.
tomorrow.
We can't take Calvin
Joshua-
Phillips.
Joshua
Tomorrow I'm
Wilson.
doing a
This is where he's
stream.
gonna go, which I think is a
Yeah.
mistake. Maybe we just
Tomorrow
let
I'm doing
Foden
a
go.
stream where I'm steel manning. So steel manning is like the opposite of straw manning. You're trying to give the best version of an argument. I'm steel manning the worst transfer ideas that people gave me. So I've already got Marcus Rashford. I've already got Højlund. I've already got Calvin Phillips. People have given me horrendous ideas.
Are we taking? Let's say, for example, let's say we were looking to sell the likes of John Stones, Bernardo, Gundo. Yeah, are we taking them to the Club World Cup, or are we going to tell them, right? Okay, you're not going. You and your agents try to sort out a new club.
Well,
Or
see, for
we're
me,
just gonna
the
take
best-
them, play,
we've got-
and they'll be comfortable and say, right, okay, we're going to stick it
Well,
for another season.
right. we've got Al-Ain and Wydad the first 2 games, right? Now, I'm not saying they're crap, by the way. They're obviously there for a reason. But when you consider we've got Juventus the 3rd game, you want to play like Juma Bars and Echeverries for the first 2 games to see where they're both at. Then you go for the big guns against Juventus. Because, I mean, Juve, I know we lost to Juve, but Juve aren't good anyway. They're okay. They're not like the levels
They
of.
spanked us 2-0.
But
You can't play
worst
Juma Bar
Juve
every
team
game, though.
kicked our butts.
But we were crap, though. We were crap, and that's our own fault. We lost that game. I think
Still
current
crap.
City now
I don't think we've
us,
upgraded that much.
but way better than
We'll
we
see if
were
Reijnders
beforehand.
plays, but that could make a difference. But I think
On the bench, probably. I could bench the first 2 games. I think I can see him get bought in over time.
I mean, I'd throw him in. I'd throw him in.
Yeah. Big up Thompson. Yeah, we did, bro. Just saw the actual tweet from C Extra about.
I don't know.
Sack,
I would rather throw Reijnders in than Rodri. I'd let Rodri.
Yeah,
take his time.
Rodri will need pre-season, though.
He will.
So he will play a few games in the Club World Cup, I reckon.
The thing is, for me, right, I don't really care who really plays. Just play the strongest team you can on that pitch. Because at the end of the day, it's all well and good calling it a pre-season, but it's actually a tournament that we can actually go on and win. Because it's good money we can win. What a way to put the last season behind us and putting out a good team of good players with a fresh team and go out there and give it a go. Why not?
That's why we're trying to get the 3 players done by the time this tournament comes around. Which, by the way, do we think that we'll only get 1 fullback this summer? Because I'm currently thinking we've got a lot of centre backs, and I'm thinking, Pep Guardiola likes a back 3. So Livramento for me, it just makes sense because you get Ryan Cherky, Aït-Nouri. You get Aït-Nouri on left back. He pushes up, and then you get your back 3 with Guardiola, Diaz, and whoever else. Say Livramento. Great back 3. Livramento is solid defensively when he's not inverting constantly. Because that's how he gets found out when he gets inverted. But you keep him back, he's actually pretty solid defensively, especially in high lines. So that just makes sense. But Pep, if we don't get Livramento, and he's difficult to get out of Newcastle, especially now that they won a trophy and got Champions League football, we've got Juma Bar coming in. He can play right back. We've got Gusenov, who can play right back. I feel like Pep has a funny thing waiting for us. I hope Maltese is already sweating. I hope.
He's like, no more messing around. Stop it.
I really do hope that we stop Nunez, just so he doesn't come back to right back.
These already. We know how it ends. We've been through this for 2 seasons. We know how it ends. Let's just go out there in the market, man. And let's just get a proper right back.
That's what I want. No, that's what I want, Matthijs. I want a proper right back.
No. I'll stop with this centre back playing right back, midfielders playing full back. Listen,
and we wonder why they can't cross. Like you're center back.
I'm tired, man. Bro, I watched that Champions League final twice. The full game, I was like, I need to watch that PSG team again, bro. I'm seeing them full backs, bro. Yeah. And you're telling me to play Juma Bar as a right back after seeing Tijjani.
You've not seen this manager, have you?
Tijjani, bro. Come on, man.
You know enough. Enough.
This manager with Guardiola and Kanji left and right back.
I love that comment. As an AFTV Arsenal fan.
He is a Liga and a regen.
Come on, I need a beer right now. What are we doing here?
I got one.
Rebuild.
I got one, man. It's my day off today.
Rebuild. I'm talking about Juma Bar, right back.
Nunez. Oh my God.
Why?
Matthijs, I agree. But I want a right back. My question wasn't, do you prefer having a right back over a centre back playing right back? My question was, do you think we'll do that if we fail to get Livramento? Because I think Pep might do something like that if we don't have Livramento coming in.
Listen, whether it's Livramento or someone else, whether it's
Livramento
or someone else, we need a right back.
We need a real fullback.
We need.
I'm sorry, I trust Nunez in a few games, but Like you could play Nunes against like relegation promotion teams at the Etihad, but I don't want him playing in any big games as a right back. I think he just has a bozo moment in him, and those cost you in the big games.
We need to sell Nunez. We can get money out of Nunez if we keep him for 2
I
years
don't
and
think
he's
he
on bench
wants to
play.
leave.
What
I
wage
think
is
he's
this
happy
deal?
to sit on the bench.
What wage is this
Did
deal?
he even get called up for Portugal right now? I don't even know.
Well, speaking of the game, actually, but Portugal win 2-1, aren't they? A certain CR7 just scored with Germany.
So
See, the problem, the thing is, yeah, do you know with this transfer?
Kick him out.
You can't be saying that. Come on.
Do you know with the whole transfer, with the way I'm a bit concerned and the way our squad is looking in terms of we are hearing more about incomings and we're not really hearing much about outgoings. And he can. And last press conference, I was listening to Pep, and he said it was easy to do a rebuild in my first season at Man City, and the reason is there were 7, 8 players, 7, 8, 9 players going out of contract, so it was easy. Like these guys they're going into the last year of the contract. Let's stick with them for the first season. That's why you're seeing Kolarov playing centre back, Sanya playing centre back sometimes, and just one centre back in Otamendi. And Pep Guardiola said during that period, my first season was really easy to build because we as a club we decide these 8 players, we're not going to renew the contract. We're going to let them go so we can bring players in terms of John Stones, Walker, Mendes, etc., etc. The only player I'm going to keep is Yaya Toure for 1 more year until I get another defensive midfield to come in and support Fernandinho. But this season, the situation is a bit different because the only player that is going out of contract is KDB. That's why we didn't renew him. The rest of them, they're still on the contract and on a mad wage. Jack Grealish, Gundo, we brought him back to 30k a week straight away. It's like we're just donating, like we're good Samaritans. You know what I mean? Have a go, Gundo. And
I don't know.
Walker.
Well, the problem was I don't think anybody expected Gundo to trigger that contract extension.
Yeah, but Walker, 1 year left.
We should have let Walker go after the treble season when he was dying to go to
Calvin Phillips. We don't know what to do with him.
That is setting us back.
And Calvin Phillips, I believe Calvin Phillips signed a 6 years contract with us.
6 years. Who gave him? Who was stupid enough to give him 6 years?
6 years.
What are you doing?
John Stones still got 2 years left. Aka the same, and it's going to be hard. Let's face it. It's going to be extremely hard to offload some of these players. And if we were just getting players in and then deal with outgoings later, we might find ourselves in a stick situation in the end.
We already are massive. We got the homegrown issue.
Yeah, we
have these giant
the problem
wages.
is we can also get excited about incomes, which is great. They're gonna improve our teams. They're gonna make us better. But we've gone to the Champions League. We bought 4 players in January, and we could only register 3 because there was no room for Vitor Reis.
Oh.
And if we don't get that many outgoings, then we're going to face a lot of problems with the registration, especially in the Champions League. The Premier League, you get a bypass. Anyone who's under 21, they just play football. They don't need to be registered. But in the Champions League, they don't care about your weight. They don't care about your age, whether you're 19,
I don't
20.
know how we're going to finagle the Champions League.
Yeah, if you want to play,
that's what, like association trained and academy trained or something.
Yeah, but if you want to play,
Vert just stomped on Bernardo Silva's ankle.
Yeah, Verts just got yellow carded. He got a yellow card.
What's the score?
He should have gotten a red.
Heavy
He
metal
stomped
football.
on the Portuguese.
2-1 Portugal. 2-1 Portugal.
Yeah.
Suman scored.
Yeah, listen, this is a concern, but we're gonna let the club, Khaldoon, Chicky, Pep Guardiola, deal with them. I trust them to find what's the best solution for the club and the players. But yeah, man, it's exciting to see. A lot of people were questioning Pep Reijnders. Oh, he's got attitude, brother. So what? His ego. So what? Bring him in.
Fulker just put the
That's
fear
what
of
we
God
need
into
someone with an ego,
Fernandes.
Yeah.
though. Because
Yeah.
if they don't have
Bro.
an ego, they won't talk to them.
Fulker.
Look at the way Liverpool used to press us, and look at the state of our press.
Oh, Diaz got a yellow card too.
Do you know what I mean?
Ooh.
Everybody is handing out
And
yellow
then one
cards.
thing that he said in his, I've seen a few videos of him interviews, and he said, "I don't like playing with wingers. I like to play with 3 strikers. Like the 3 out wide players, they need to be close in the box so we can score more goals. And we need more goals in this team." Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I
I'm gonna see the
talking
stats.
about
Jesus. Go on, bro. Go on.
talking about how Luke feels. By the way, I've got to show you guys something. Or, well, I need Luke to show you guys something in front of me. And I think Luke
Fine,
knows
go
what
on.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what I'm on about. I know what you're on about. I know, and I was framed. I was
Framed. This is fake news. This is fake news. You ain't not framed.
No.
Go on, show it.
Well, we're at loads because it's not up yet. So this is awkward for everyone now. Ways to get around. Yeah, Alf, come on, put it away. Come on.
Yeah, so Luke just randomly messaged me on WhatsApp and told me Pep out.
I'll give you context for that. Right?
There is no context. There is no
No.
context.
There is context. If you're a twat, he's laughing because he knows that there is context. I was joking. I had him on WhatsApp and I sent a message just to prove he can see it. I put that.
He's Pep out. I got a screenshot.
Yeah, no one cares, bro. Move on. But I mean, Joe, I asked all you anyway, right? What do you? How are you feeling before the World Cup anyway right now? Do you feel excited for it? Do you feel like you're looking forward to it, or you don't really care? So, on it.
For me, it's like too naked for me because, like, on one side, I don't want this competition to exist. It should not exist. I'm not going to watch it out of principle. So on one side, I don't care because it should not exist.
Yeah, sure.
But-
I'm not going to watch it.
On the other side, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for the club to get. So it is. It's like it's important for the club because just the money. But
Right, everyone, clip that. I'm not going to watch it. If
I
we start
won't.
playing well, you cannot watch it. If we start cooking,
I won't watch it. I won't watch it.
City is in the final against PSG.
I won't.
Oh,
watch it.
God.
I will not watch it because
That would be
this
a little
competition
scary.
should not exist. This competition should not
Why
exist. So I will not
PSG
watch
in
it.
this competition? This is not cool.
Coefficient.
They've won they won the Champions League, didn't they?
Does that count this year?
No,
Not
it's
for but that counts. They'll qualify automatically for the next tournament. I don't know why they're in this one because
But
they were
they-
in this one before they won the Champions League.
it's just coefficients, right?
So this the coefficient will qualify for next tournament for them. So they're automatically qualified to the 2030 Club World Cup or whatever
20
season. Wait,
It's 29.
20,
Yeah.
25,
So-
2029. Apologies.
Do you know, right? The next time these
Nah.
players get a break is in 2 years' time. Because the World Cup next
They
summer.
don't. They don't get a break because they got that fucking stupid Nations League garbage.
No, they
They
don't.
don't,
They don't
get a
have
break
any.
anymore.
They don't have a break anymore. Every summer there's an international competition now.
They got formidable, by the way. Another £1, man.
That
Big up
guy
to
is
you, man.
paying up,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Yes.
Quid now. Big up, man.
All you
Hey,
other broke
big up.
asses in the chat. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
£3 meal deal. Maybe incoming.
Joke. It's a joke.
No, but,
Listen.
We need to get that HSK guy in your chat.
regardless of the competition, I think I said at the end of the season, I wish we didn't have the Club World Cup to play, because my main focus was just after the season we just had. I was just thinking everyone just needs to go on a holiday. Do you know what I mean? Like, not just the players, the manager, but also the fans. It's been a roller coaster. Do you know what I mean? We how many streams we've done just going on about lineups. Do you know what I mean? Getting battered by Spurs, going on about Bernardo Silva, the uncles, Gundo, Kyle Walker. It's been a mad season. It's been a mad season, and I was just wishing like we could just, as soon as the season ends, we could have just switch off football. Like, you know what I mean? Or forget that it exists for a couple of months. But you can never switch off football, because as soon as the season ends, the ITKs are at it. With the
Let's launch, everyone. Let's launch. Yeah.
I have an important announcement.
with the transfer window. And
we beat Tottenham. We beat Tottenham at White Hart Lane this last season, too.
Two seasons in a row.
Who cares?
I'll take that as a trophy.
More trophy.
We beat Tottenham away.
And they think that we beat Man City trophy. We'll take that we scored a goal at your grounds trophy.
Oh, bro.
We scored 3 goals there since that.
Better let Pep Guardiola's community shields.
Just quickly, right? These ITKs, right? All these phrases are coming up with, bro. All these saying like, "Let's launch." It's happening. You know, here we
land.
Come on. Let it
Bro,
land. What are you doing?
Fabrizio, yeah. He posted that he tweeted out about Kirkes to Liverpool. I think it was around 3 p.m. Yeah. Then 40 minutes later, 3:40, he put another tweeted out about Kirkes to Liverpool. Basically, the same tweet, and he's just changing a few words, and he changed the picture. It was like,
oh yeah,
why?
Why? Same words.
Why is just cycling like concrete talks? Oh, club to club talks now underway.
They are very desperate. Why? They are very desperate for that Twitter money.
Do you know back in the day? Yeah, look. Do you know back in the day? Yeah, where we used to get the only way we used to get transfer news is like when we get on the bus to school and there was a newspaper in there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now, bro, everything is just drama. Oh my god,
Match Magazine.
There
bro,
we land.
Yeah.
There we land. What are we doing here? Come on.
Look, we are here. We land. What are we doing here?
Oh, to know it. Yeah, Manchester City are interested. That's fine. Yeah, he's interested. But they need to put is interested. Really concrete talks is on the way. Then they are advanced talks. Manchester City is going to bid next week. Then 4 hours later, the bid has to go through. But you say this next week, 4 hours before. I'm like, yo, bro, what are you doing?
Player says yes. Player says yeah. And?
Player said yes to the project. Oh my days.
Project FC.
So that's what we are now, yeah.
Bro, when who on earth start with these project things?
It's
honestly,
it's shameless, mate, for likes and retweets, man. That's all it is. All it is, mate. I work for MEN. Right, okay then. But why are you going on? But what I'm saying is, right, fair enough you're doing this, right? But why are you doing this now? Like, so you claim to be an ex-journalist for the Manchester Evening News. All right, if you are, fine. But why are you spending time doing a random Twitter account, putting stuff up there and putting "Let's launch"? It's a bit weird, isn't it? It's like, what is this? Like, it's like what?
Well, this is dying over here.
It's weird. It's fucking weird.
No, bro, it's mad, man. Come on, what are we doing here? Do you know what I mean?
Hold on.
Medicals is on the way. the second part of the medical, the first part.
First part. What part? It should be a whole thing. The fourth part of the deal agreed is now done. Okay.
It's like they're talking about seasonal anime over here. First part done.
Part of the trilogy of the sixth. Just waffling now. Just waffling.
No, this whole thing.
Hey, that's my job. That's my job as well.
If your job and Patrick's job do that.
See, this whole thing, is done by design to get everyone's attention. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can never switch off football anymore because you now, as soon as the season ends, who are we buying? Who are we selling? Do you know what I mean? People are not getting enough sleepers anymore. They wake up at 4 a.m. then just scrolling through Twitter. Is there any here we go? My club. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? We said earlier, right, the public video to describe the current window right now, and big up Radu who shared this earlier on. Hold on, when it decides to load up. Will it load? Hopefully it will do in a bit. Yeah, this video.
This is facts.
I've seen that one.
Weighing up the options, monitoring, discussing. They appreciate the player, edging closer, studying, exploring, flirting, race, prioritizing.
Flirting is the best one.
Player, in personal terms, following. He's a concrete.
Oh, Portugal won.
Luring.
That's really surprising to me that Portugal won that game.
Like real talk, how many more buzzwords do these journos actually need?
Yep, facts.
And,
Securing the deal.
See the way they tweet, understand. They try to be clever. They try to be very clever. Understand.
Harassing, assaulting. What are we doing? It's not.
I don't want to know what you're talking about with that.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean understand? Do you mean like from what I understood, or it's just understand?
They can't even speak English. You see the amount of typos that Fabrizio has in his tweets and stuff.
No, it's not just Fabrizio. Even bloody what's his name? The guy from Athletic. David Onstin. David Onstin. It's the same, man. It's Fabrizio.
Studying. Agree to deal. Every time I watch it. I'll
just say this. I know we're having a meltdown over that tweet from Sasha, who, to be fair, has had a good window.
Yeah, he is.
I don't think Fabrizio is going to be doubling and tripling down like he is if something happens.
Do you know that
Fabrizio has a reputation and he does not do anything to sacrifice it.
Do you know when there's a battle between two clubs for one player, and then the player chooses club A rather than going to club B, then Fabrizio would put out like, the project from club A was more appealing for the players. He likes the project more. I was like, what project? In that club, he's getting 100K a week. What do you mean project?
Project. Agreeing the deal. Agreeing. It's just waffle. It's the same thing, isn't it? Well, we at personal terms agree, right? Okay.
Do you think Cunha is going to Man United because of the project? Come on, do me a favor.
It's money.
He's going to fight relegation next season.
Cunha is going to Man United because he has aspirations to win the championship at some point.
Yeah, championship, or Champions League. I obviously misheard something there. Yeah, not Champions League.
Yeah, maybe Cunha thought they were in the Champions League next season, not championship. Maybe he misunderstood the project.
Yeah, honestly, right. Just do you know what, that video I showed you there is the window so far for me. Just the same jargon, the same words spilled out by Plettenberg.
I've seen the same tweet all week with like 4 words change every tweet.
Yeah, but I can help
talking about.
It's my thing. Yeah, I can help.
Why? It's like they're repeating themselves. It's like boom, 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 boom. Do you know when you're on TikTok? I don't use TikTok, but when I see people going through TikTok, They just bunch at the video. Boom, 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 boom.
Bro. That's right. Watch my last stream if you watched it, right? Me and went through the whole time under last week because I do a stream for about a week. It's like it's the same shit over and over. You repeat the same over. It's like
exactly.
It's like what I read on Tuesday, like last Tuesday, was what the same thing was said on Friday. It's like what's changed then? Well, nothing.
No. You're reading like three or four words that are different.
Oh yeah, studying.
They've changed flirting
analyzing.
to advancing or something.
Advancing, luring.
Luring. Pushing for the deal.
My ITKs. I'm trusting them. Mateus, if you're wrong, you're getting cooked. And you too, Patrick. If you're wrong, you're getting cooked.
Nah, don't worry. We get him. I get him. Get nothing.
Where it's going. It's he kidnaps the player. Oh, mate, honestly, it's just
Stoking the player. Flirting.
There's a couple of players on our team I'd be flirting with.
Seducing the player.
Come again.
If you want to know more, get on the drunk stream for the Pat and Kel show. 4,500 subscribers.
Well, the journalism, the media and the journalism in this country, man, it's mad, man. Honestly,
wafflers. Wafflers going.
Do you know? It's not just on football. Yeah, even politics. Everything in this country. Yeah, the way they put out it is so dramatic.
But it's not just UK though. It's not just UK though. That's just a universal thing,
bro. No, this country is the worst. Honestly, they like drama. They like attention. Viewers. They're like, bro, just chill, man.
We just have a bunch of liars.
Look at the assignment. Studying the assignment. You know, look at
how many ITKs we've got now. On like every time.
Right. Ramdeuter, Existant, City Fan, whatever his name. Right.
The Oos and Existant are the Frenchies.
To be fair, he's all right. Yeah, he has compilation videos. Actually, he for me, someone like him's different to everyone else because he's actually someone that just says what he sort of says and then does other stuff. He's not ITK. It's like Darrod and the Bill, and not they're the waffle. I just say what they tell and bugger off. Whereas feel like that Existant guy, they just waffle. Oh well, I got it right though. Well done.
Who's the Existant? Which one is the bigger waffler?
Existant. Because I'm sorry, okay. Right? I'm an ex-journalist at MEN, right? Okay, but the way you spend your time doing a Twitter account called Existant and saying let's launch for a transfer. Why you waste your time doing that when you've got a career as a journalist?
maybe he got sacked.
I have a question actually for you guys. I have a question.
Go on.
Does anybody still trust Tolmy in 2025?
No, bro.
Did anyone ever trust him?
Is he falling to KFA?
Bellingham said yes. I didn't. Lies.
I'm just checking, man. Just checking.
No, but that's what he said. He said Bellingham said yeah on the City forum. I used to be on the forum a couple of years ago, right? He used to say certain players said yeah. I was like, right, okay. And then what happened? Went Real Madrid. Like,
you know what Dolmy had, yeah? Dolmy had a lot of luck that he got a few of them correct, but then he got Bellingham wrong.
Like Haaland was done, was about a year before, half a year before it was even announced anyway. Like that was everyone kind of knew it was going anyway.
Haaland was done in April.
Yeah, but we all knew. We're like, yeah, he's going to.
Yeah, that broke pretty early.
But
Haaland
that
broke at the Wolves game.
Yeah, Haaland and Alvarez.
I trust Martin way more than I told me, by the way. That's what I'm going to say. He might get things wrong. 50. No, look.
No, Alvarez was done in January. Alvarez it was in January, and then Haaland was in April.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alvarez was early. Alvarez was dead early. Alvarez was
Kev knew because Kev was doing this at the Wolves game. He knew.
Interesting.
Oh, Steve Black brings up a great point. What about Martin? 98%.
Oh yeah, even Martin got Martin, bro. The Bruno G thing. Oh, it's gonna happen.
99% on someone recently, or am I tripping?
I'm kind of the same. Like, look, even Craig, I'm a bit unsure with him, but like, in the end of the day, right? People like that actually don't go do it on Twitter openly. It's like, bro, it's obviously what you're doing this for. Like, if you like, look, don't get me wrong. I'm told certain things myself, but I don't go on waffling about it because it could be wrong. It's a bit just salt. I could be told. I get Rodrigo, but it doesn't mean I'm going to get him. I'm told something. It doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But people are too gullible. I'm not sure if it's just being gullible or if people just heard something and they want to run with it because they want to be first. But like, people just believe everything they see nowadays on the internet.
But nowadays,
do we trust the purple panel? What about purple panel? Do we trust him?
Oh
no.
Right, first off, right, purple panel.
I'm just asking questions. I'm not saying I use it. I mean, I follow.
Why are we calling us a random account name?
I think I trust him.
What, like green screen? I'll make a code called green screen. I probably will get. I get some City stuff correct. All done. I'm legit. Like at the end of the day, right? If you know something, cool. But the reality is, we know fuck all until it's actually done. No one knows what's going on behind the scenes at the club, unless you work there.
Not consistently. Like you might hate something once in a while if you have like friends or stuff in the club, but you're not going to get that consistently.
Yeah, exactly.
And even the stuff you hate, that you might.
What's happened with the goalkeeper situation?
Pep Guardiola wants to keep both goalkeepers.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
very interesting.
I think if we can, Mateus, you missed this conversation earlier. I think if we can upgrade on Ederson, we should. But I mean, if he stays, okay. But if we have I prefer us to sign Chevalier to upgrade from Ederson, but I don't think the club is willing to do that. Well, I am big. I am hardcore Chevalier. I started watching him. I literally started doing. I started jumping on League watch alongs just when Lille was playing to watch Chevalier. I've watched like about 10 games of him. I'm convinced. In the back of the car, right? Jackie's in the back of the car with Martin.
In the taxi, yeah, on live on 5 Light. Oh, bro, Martin never wrote that down. Even if it's not true, it should be a constant meme. 98% and that. I'm sorry, like at that point, it's just that's
the
just
legend of Jackie.
Memes about Jackie is funny, honestly.
I ain't imitating that. I'll say that.
Yeah, well, yeah, that
is a funny one.
Jackie, sorry.
It's a funny one with the goalkeeper. Listen, if Pep Guardiola wants to keep them both, then he needs to add more firepower up front.
Yeah,
he needs
to add more. We are though, but don't you think we kind of are with attacking fullbacks, with Reijnders, with Turkey?
We need another goal scorer in there.
You don't think Marmoush can do that?
Yeah, listen, Marmoush can score goals, and Erling Haaland can score goals, but even last
do we not think like Foden coming back and Rodri coming back is gonna not add goals?
Foden just hope, innit? We don't know. We don't know how because we've seen Rodri like when he played a few minutes, he looked all over the place.
I don't know that.
Listen, it was good to see him back, but let's not pretend that he was just lost on the pitch, Rodri. And but the thing is, when you look at that treble season in terms of firepower, we had Haaland, Alvarez, Mahrez. They were the three our main goal scorers. They were banging goals left, right, and centre. Then Alvarez, Mahrez left, and last season we were struggling to score more goals against Real Madrid in the quarterfinals, which we got knocked out on penalties because we were missing chances. We didn't have another killer on the pitch because Haaland was marked by Rudiger, and we tried to bring on Alvarez, which he struggled a little bit, but we didn't have a Mahrez to bring on as well. That difference maker. And I feel like, okay, we've had Marmoush to replace the Alvarez goals, perhaps, or the Alvarez input, but we still need to add a few more goals in terms of the goals that Mahrez was producing, or even KDB. So if you're keeping the both goalkeepers, even though we need an upgrade on that position, I've been crying for an upgrade for 6 years now. If you're keeping Ederson, cool. If you're keeping Ortega, cool. But add more goals up front. Yeah, add more goals up front. And what you must do is sort out the full-back areas. Because there was a lot of things going down out wide. Yeah, teams were targeting out wide, and we saw what happened last season. So, yeah, if you want to keep both goalkeepers, full-back is a must, and more firepower up front. And then next season, if see what is on the market, bring a couple of goalkeepers in.
I was saying to Al yesterday, that the season, I want to get back to enjoying City again. And much as I love winning trophies, as anyone does, right? Last season was so enjoyable because the football was terrible. I actually hate watching it because it was so boring to watch. I want to enjoy watching us play first. With trophies, they'll come with actually playing well and winning games. I want to get back to us actually playing good football first and get back to a good style of play where we're actually winning games the right way, playing the right way, and getting us back up the confidence that way. That's the moment of that.
We want to go back to 16, 17, is what you're saying.
Well, yeah, but actually not being shit, losing Everton 4-0.
16, 17. That was Bravo in goal.
Leicester 4, City 2.
The less we speak about that, the better.
Even Ederson and Ortega are better than Bravo. Let's be honest, but
here's a question for you: was Zach Steffen better than?
We finished third.
Was Zach Steffen better than Claudio Bravo?
Forget all these mediocre goalkeepers.
Just as bad. Bro, that Liverpool game, what was he doing? What was he doing at Liverpool game? Honestly?
We haven't had a good goalkeeper since Joe Hart left. Like, that's the truth. We've still not replaced Joe Hart, bro.
Really? What? So you think Ederson's that shit that he's not... Okay, all right, fair enough.
He's a mid-table goalkeeper, bro. He's a mid-table goalkeeper. Yes, bro. Shot stopping is...
I don't think he's been bad for Man City. I think he's been...
Bro,
decent. He's been decent, but I've seen better. And,
but that's what I mean. He's a mid-table goalkeeper.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Yeah. That is better than Ederson, but I don't think he's been bad for the club.
Yeah, but that's what I mean with mid-table. Like he would start for Crystal Palace, he would start for Aston Villa, but he should not be starting for Man City.
Okay, fair enough. All right, and well, so for you then, who's the answer then? Is it Chevalier or Costa?
Chevalier.
Neither. So I wanted I wanted Juan Garcia, but Juan Garcia ended up going to Barcelona. That's done, by the way. So he's no longer on the table. Chevalier, I've not watched enough to rate him. With Diogo Costa, I've gone back, watched some of his shots that he's conceded, his shot stopping. With Chevalier, I haven't. So Chevalier, could be good, could be shit, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you that I know, I don't. Diogo Costa, I don't rate. There's Mike McNall out there, who I think is a decent goalkeeper. But I have not watched AC Milan a lot this season, and people tell me McNall fell off. So, but there has odds to be a better goalkeeper out there, shot-stopping wise, than Ederson. And I get all of that, like, yeah, he's such an attack, but like, we've got centre backs and full backs now coming in who can do that, and midfielders who can do that. So I get it, he's such an attack, but do we need that from him that desperately? Like, it's a trade-off, isn't it? It's a trade-off. You're sacrificing 3-4 assists in a season for maybe 10 goals you concede that season. So
Moonbeam, by the way.
I don't know. I don't know. Like are you making a bigger sacrifice by losing? Which are you making a bigger sacrifice? This is my
Right.
question to all of you guys. Yeah, are you
Mark,
making
this
a
was
bigger
wild.
sacrifice when you lose that shot-stopping ability of a goalkeeper who's a bit better, or are you making a bigger sacrifice with that passing ability from Ederson? Because I think we've got enough good passers.
I would sacrifice a little bit of the passing for an improved shot stopping. That's why I'm on the Chevalier bandwagon.
I think Edison shot stopping ability has improved throughout the years, and I think even this season, I've seen something different. He was pulling out a few saves there and there.
Yeah.
It might be the case that goalkeepers is different to like on-field players. The older they get, the better they get. Like with the more experience, for example. But when we talk about he's been at the club for 8 years and he's one of the most experienced. Well, he came in 2017, didn't he? So yeah, 8 years, and he's one of the most experienced players in the squad. And when you are one of the most experienced players in the squad, we expect you to show that experience on the football pitch, that leadership. Yeah, we are not going to tolerate you being one of the experienced in that back line. Yeah, with 5 minutes to go on the Manchester derby. Yeah, we 1-0 up. We're not playing well, and you just decide to do a madness just because you were bored for 85 minutes.
Nunes.
Now we agreed at home as well. 2-1.
I won't forgive him for that.
Yeah, 3-4 minutes to go. All you need to do is just play it out to your centre back. Let's just knock the ball about, take the 2-1, regroup, and go to the Bernabeu and try to salvage a draw and go through. But no,
But Matthijs,
I'm bored, man.
You know what my biggest problem is with Ederson?
No, let me just finish. Let me just try to pull a pass to Rico Lewis or Matheus Nunes, whoever was on that right-hand side. It's not good enough. Yeah, if that was Kusanov making those silly mistakes, he's understandable. He's new in the team. He's a young lad. If that was even Rico or even Echeverri, yeah, cool, they're young lads, but you're one of the most experienced players in the team. Where's the brain? Where is he at? Listen, his shots in stop ability has improved for the last 3 seasons. But I just need something different, man. And I think I've seen enough. I've seen some good moments from him, and I've seen some horrendous moments from him. Maybe the horrendous moments outweigh the good moments, but the Champions League final was a big one, so we need to give him the flowers in that final. He won as the final, and even against Fulham as well this season. But listen, we need something different, man. We need something better. We need an upgrade than now. We need to go to big ground eye.
Yeah.
When we need a goalkeeper to make himself look massive in goal, big, we need something different, man. And I'm happy. I don't mind if obviously we won't not be able to rebuild the whole team in one window. It might take another summer, but if you improve me the attack and the back line and the midfield, I can wait another season for you to bring me top goalkeepers at the club. Whilst you've got set good enough back line, good enough midfield, good enough attack, then the next window, focus on the goalkeeper.
Well, to ask question, Rodrigo. Me personally, I have him at E, but I'm not sure about you 3. But I think it'd be a great player to have. I think, but the fact that he's left winger though, it's definitely going to be a bit of an interesting one because that's where he wants to play. So it depends on what we want to do it really.
I would take him over any of our wingers Costa in a heartbeat.
I like Costa from Porto. I've wanted Costa since the Arsenal game last season, where I think Arsenal won on penalties. Is it penalties? Yeah, on penalties, and he was amazing. in terms of like you can like ball in the air, like commanding during corner. There was one thing that we don't see from Ederson is he coming out during corners. It feels like every time we've got a corner, the defense needs to bail him out because like as a goalkeeper in the Premier League, when you've got a corner, you've got the advantage. Yeah. Any slim contact is a foul. Use that advantage to yourself. We've seen a lot of goalkeepers in the Premier League, they do that. Especially like Pickford, for example, Dean Anderson. Do you know what I mean? They do that. They use that corner for their advantage. Yeah. Just come out. Any slight touch is a foul.
Too soon on Dean Henderson. Too soon.
You know what I mean? He just stands in there. Yeah. Use that. And I've seen that from Diego Costa last season against Arsenal. And I like what I see, man. And I was like, yeah, I'll take him. But if he's too expensive, well, I also understand the club. If they want to prioritize other positions, so be it, isn't it? It's one of them.
Do you know what? Before in the stream, a big up to you three for obviously being coming on almost 2.5 hours on live. A big up to chat as always for liking the scrubbing channel if you haven't already.
And we didn't even get into last season.
We haven't actually, and I think
we didn't even get into the last season review, and it's already 2.5 hours.
I think, yeah. The thing is, right, with last season review, right?
I thought it would be I thought it would be the season review, not the transfer window.
The issue is, mate, we had news come out left. I was like, fucking hell, I can't exactly ignore that either. But do you know what?
We're debating over ITKs.
Do you know what it is, right? If I had to sum up last season in 3 words: embarrassing, disgraceful, hilarious. That is what I described last season. Because embarrassing, because the amount of times that we threw away leads, drew games that we shouldn't have drew. Disgraceful in the FA Cup final. Yeah, we played well. Stats mean fuck all. We can't put the ball back at the net.
We didn't play well.
Played well, my arse. It was boring as shit. And hilarious because the final game didn't really laugh out loud. So it was funny, and it was a good start, I suppose. But you can't exactly rate the season as decent because we got third. It was the most hilarious, embarrassing season I've watched in a long time. Yeah, we've been shitter than that in previous years, but under our current standards, our current squad club where we are right now, where we should be as a team, challenging a lot better than this, it was disgraceful.
It was a frustrating season. It was just a frustrating season because we started out really well before anyone even came back. Like Foden was out, Rodri was out because they were given extra time because of the Euros finals, and we actually looked decent. Like that formation was kind of working, and then Rodri came back, and then he was gone as soon as he came back, and then it just all fell apart. Like I know we kind of held on for a few results after that. I know we got the draw at Newcastle, and then I think we won a couple of other games, but you could see the cracks were forming, and then it just all imploded, and it just fell apart so quickly.
Is that with KDB injury?
Yeah, it's man. Yeah, and
that started, and then also I have to question why Rodri's first 90 minutes of the season was against Inter Milan, because that is a crazy game to come back to as a full 90. I don't know why he wasn't bedded in a few games earlier. That just made no sense. But that 20 minutes that we had Rodri against Arsenal, we were absolutely cooking. I was like, dude, this formation is going to work. We got this. And then I knew when he went down, I knew that was his ACL and he was done for the season. I've seen that too many times. It's just heartbreaking.
My worry for this season started Brentford at home. The first half an hour, we were cooked off the park. If Brentford could score goals, it'd been 3 or 4-0. And by the way, Worcester.
But I don't think Rodri played that game. That was that's where the lower quality players aren't good enough. That sign that Kovacic and Bernardo weren't good enough. That game.
Bro, that Worcester goal, right? The cross came in. You got Walker in no man's land, that right back doing fuck all with people, and cross it. He got a small whistle against John Stones, header, 1-0. 30 seconds into the game. Straight away, I thought, even if we win this game, Haaland was bailing us out a lot of the time. He's bailing us out a lot. As soon as Haaland's form went, whole team went.
Well,
'Cause
Holland's
with the-
form went because literally the midfield was shit and couldn't get in the ball. Holland doesn't create his own chances. That's probably something he could improve on. We couldn't get him the
No, he
ball.
can't,
We were
though,
playing with 10 men
because-
with him on the pitch for most of the season.
He can't improve on that, though, because that's not the type of player he is. He makes chances by making runs. That's how he does it. He does runs. He plays ball. He goes down the wings, tries to cross in balls because he's very good at that when we allow him to do it. That's how Haaland plays. That's how he played at Dortmund. You're not going to ask Haaland, change the style that made you world class. You're going to have to change your style as manager to Erling Haaland. And Pep Guardiola doesn't like doing that sometimes. Sometimes Pep is very stubborn. And midfield we've had this season, he stubbornly held onto a midfield that simply didn't work. And I mean, listen. Pep Guardiola is very lucky that he's at Man City and not at Liverpool, because at Liverpool, he wouldn't get the amount of money he's getting. And I'm not even saying anything about whether he should be sacked or not. Forget that for a moment. But to be honest right now, at Liverpool, they would not spend 200 million in January to bail Pep out. Pep Guardiola is very lucky that he's at Man City, where you do get that support. And that's good. That's good that Man City supports our managers like this, spends money like that. But when a manager can't figure out for the life of him how to fix a system, when on his bench he's got young players, when he's got O'Reilly, this guy he said would play in the DM if Rodri is injured, then never ended up playing in the DM. That is on Pep. That is 200% on Pep. And it's happened without fullback situation, where he didn't try to find a solution. He didn't even try. Like, that's my biggest problem here. For half the season, I feel like Pep Guardiola did not even try to fix some of these problems, like that fullback problem, like the midfield problem. It felt like he just kept doing the same thing that didn't work. Then he would switch it up one game, but the moment he got to win, he would go back. Because
oh man.
No, the issue was no. Here's the issue. He would find a solution with new players like Nico Gonzalez, Husanov, even some games with Jack Grealish in the midfield. He'd find something that would work, and then he would immediately abandon it because it wasn't Kovacic or Gundogan or Bernardo who was like succeeding. Like, he was desperate to make it work with those players, like his guys. And the facts are they're just not good enough anymore. They physically, and they cannot do what he's asking them to do. And he just wanted that. He wanted them to be the ones that made it work, and it never did.
I'm gagging.
It's just frustrating because like he would find a solution and then he would just immediately abandon it. Like the board, the board get flack for me for the first half of the season because they didn't do their job in the summer. But the board came back in January and they did their job. They brought in the players we needed. The manager chose not to use them consistently. He used them for a little bit and then he just ditched them for the experienced players.
For me,
I think he made it a lot harder than it needed to be. I think we could have sealed Champions League a lot sooner if he had just stuck with the new players because they had the legs that could do the tactics he was asking them to do.
The frustration to me was Newcastle when won 4-0. That team right there was brilliant. Now, would it have been good every game? Might have been. Might not. But remember that every game is not the same. Of course it's not. But why not stick to a formula like that for the few games? It doesn't work. You've tried it. Fair enough. I'm not going to never go. If you try it, it doesn't work. It's football. But when you change the team constantly at every turn, where even us four here can't predict anybody last season because I had no idea who to go with. One minute, Nico Kovacic and De Bruyne, decent. Then it'd be Gundogan, Kovacic, and De Bruyne all in one team. Why? It felt like Russian roulette, Pep roulette.
Why Nico Gonzalez didn't start all those games blows my mind. He fixed the massive hole in our midfield, not perfectly, but he had the legs. And honestly, he's never played that position. And I think he did a pretty damn good job coming into the absolute disaster that he walked into. I think he did a good job. And for him to get inexplicably dropped for no reason blew my mind.
But we all know why he got dropped. It's because Pep
because he made like one mistake because he was like quote unquote not good enough in the Everton game, and I'm like Gundogan gave the ball away more than he did in that game. Like
No, but you know what it is. Gundogan is favourite, so he gets away with it.
That's why they need to be removed.
Toxin.
It's going to be more of the same next season if these players don't go. I'm going to go back to what Mateus said. Outgoings are more important than incomings. I've been saying this for months. Outgoings are the most important thing we do this summer.
We've all been saying
these certain players don't leave, we're going to see the same problems as next season. As we had last season, we'll see him next season. If Bernardo's playing every game and Gundogan's playing every game, we're going to have the same issues with transition and all that stuff. If you're counting on post ACL Rodri to save you, that's a mistake.
Yeah.
I think sorry, go on.
Go on, bro. Go on.
I think is see when we talk about the season as a whole, I think we apart from Chelsea, because we started Chelsea away, we won 2-0. And we were pretty lucky really to get a clean sheet in that game because Nicola Jackson is a Bambi on ice. Do you know what I mean? He's a Bambi on ice. Then we went into Brentford at home, the second game of the season, and we start seeing the cracks in that team. Defensively, we were all over the place. And then when we the third game of the season went to Newcastle, we won 2-1 that game. But not Newcastle, sorry, I lie. West Ham away. We won 2-1 in that game. And then Newcastle hit the bar a couple of times and Ruben Dias scored the own goal. But it was so we saw the problems and we're like, this team is not right. We were winning games, but the performances and the chances we were given to the opposition, it was a bit of concern. And we all sat in here and said, right, if the team start being more clinical in front of goal, we're gonna suffer. And after this, I think it was Tottenham away for the Carabao Cup. That was in September. Is it September? October, somewhere like that. We played Tottenham. Yeah, it was October.
October,
yeah. That was it when I think started. We went Tottenham away. We had Nathan Ake gone off injured that game. Nunes playing like we had no wingers, and Tottenham slapped us. The very following game, it was
Sporting.
Bournemouth. Was it Sporting?
Oh no, it was Tottenham. So it was Tottenham. Like, Tottenham beat us 2-1. No one really cared anyway.
Then we go to Bournemouth.
Then
we get Sporting. And then they won the Champions League, and we all seen like the team is. That's when the defeat started, and that's where I feel like Pep start doing a madness in terms of team selections, because as a football manager, you got the care of duty and of looking after the players. And we could have seen that the whole injury at the back line was mishandled by the manager, by Pep Guardiola, because he was keeping rushing back in players. He was playing players that not fit to play, but he was playing them 45 minutes each half, and he was just getting worse rather than, right, okay, I don't mind losing 3-4 games on the bounce, but you guys, you're not fully fit just yet. Have another week of rest. Yeah. Once you're fully fit, come back, and then you can start football matches. Because Nathan Ake just came out and said about his injury, I was coming back too early. Yeah. He said that. And we've said that in numerous
Part of that was the board's problem. Yeah. Remember, we had 7 defenders going into this season. We had Rico Lewis, defender, Kyle Walker, John Stones, Nathan Ake, Akanji, Vardiel, Diaz.
The problem is,
and we all know that Stones and Ake are a write-off because they're going to get injured. You can't count on John Stones for anything.
That's not the issue,
and Kyle Walker's been washed for 2 years. That is a complete failure from the board.
No, that's not the problem.
That I personally cannot blame Pep for. Complete failure from the board.
When you've got players that are not fully fit, you don't play them. Because if you play them, there's more chance of
the board. We had no other options.
There's more chance of them getting worse.
And they're too scared to, like, ideally, you don't want to play an academy player in that situation, but like... Going into the season with 7 defenders and 2 of them being Stones and Ake is psychotic. And Kyle Walker as a washed-up option for this, like the 5th option or whatever. Like that was a massive failure from the board. They should have added a defender.
But how can you blame the board for that? So how can you blame
the board? The problem is
to rebuild.
The problem is
the board overrides the manager in that case. They failed massively in the defense and not buying a midfielder to cover Rodri. Rodri begged them for help. He said, I can't do this. I cannot play 70 games, 90 minutes every game the whole season. Get me a midfielder. And Pep said no. The board has to say, fuck you, Pep. We're buying somebody, whether you like it or not. Stuff him on the end of the bench, but when somebody gets injured, inevitably, he's going to be there for you. That is a failure on the board. Override the manager.
Injuries aside, Kel. Yeah, injuries aside. Okay, we've seen the injury. We've seen how the back line was looking. Right, okay. What you also could have done, okay, there's not much to do until you wait for the transfer window. But during that period, what you needed to do is actually create a system that can adapt with those injuries. Create a system that you would get the best out of players. It felt like at the times where he was coming up with a new system, rather than the system be used to get the best out of the players, you were asking the players to get the best out of the system. In terms of 1 minute you asking Rico Lewis go play left back, inverting, but you also do start playing there with Nunes. Then the next minute you say, okay, Rico Lewis, you come out the left back, play central defender to help the build up. Why? Why is this chopping changes? Why can't you just, okay, let me hold on until the January transfer window. I'll speak to the board. I'll get a few players in, but let me just get the best out the players. Get the best out the players that I have available with coaching. Yeah, get the coaching staff. Let's have a meeting. Right. Let's sort out this mess. Let's hold this team for at least a month or a month and a half until we get into January transfer window. We get Kusanov in, put on the back line. We get Victor Reis, whatever. We get Nico Gonzalez, put him in the midfield alongside Kovacic, yeah, and then create that double pivot in there. Then you've got your centre half in Kusanov, yeah. Then you've got your Nunes at right back. Like it's like even when we had the players, he was still struggling to find a good starting 11. He was still struggling to set up the back line because you found a partnership in Joshua Vardy and Ruben Diaz, but as soon as your son Kanji start looking like coming back in full fitness, Kanji comes in, you shove Vardy again on the left back. But Vardy cannot play left back.
Again, I said this.
You set up a high line.
He'd immediately undo it for someone else.
You set up a high line, and you've got the pace of Vardy because Ruben Diaz doesn't have any pace. But you go into a high line, you add Kanji there, who's slow, next to Ruben Diaz, who's another slow player, and then you set up a high line. It's a suicide without Kyle Walker, because even when we didn't have fast players in terms of John Stones, Diaz, but we were still having Kyle Walker to help out with that high line, to help us stop in the counter, to give that recovery pace that we need on the back line. When you don't have that, you don't need to set up a high line. Drop a yard back because you don't have Kyle Walker in there. Do you know what I mean? So
you had to wash Kyle Walker, who wasn't helping.
Do you know what I mean? Just a bit of the basics. We go into midfield. We're getting slapped in the middle of the park. We're actually getting bullied. There were games where Bernardo Silva was like literally just thrown on the floor.
Rico was getting and Gundogan too.
Lewis getting bullied off the park. Yeah, but you've just signed a 60 million midfielder in that. Why are you not using him? Do you know what I mean?
just really right as well. Because what I will say to this, right, there is a positive to talk about is O'Reilly. Nico O'Reilly came into a team, right, which was absolutely
just show up too.
Look, the thing is for me, right, if the positives, I'll talk about them. There was positives. One was O'Reilly, because O'Reilly came into the team and actually played a position left back, came in and did a good job. Goals, got assists.
We finished the season without any trophy. What's so positive about this season?
I think think Nico O'Reilly's emergence was positive. I think Joško Vardiel showing how good he is as a center back, finally getting to play there. I think that was a positive.
But it's limited. It's limited though. It's limited positives. It's not.
One. I don't remember what it was.
But if we're being serious though, right? Like none of us here are saying it's the worst season ever because it's been far worse season than this as a City fan. But when you're looking at the current level of this club right now, where we should be at, as in competing every year, winning every year isn't guaranteed. You have to earn trophies to win them. But we were nowhere near, apart from the FA Cup final.
I think Marmoush was a massive positive.
Yeah, he was massive positive. But this is the thing. I'm not going to sit there.
That FA Cup final was rough.
I'm not going to sit
there. The setup for that was all wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Omar Marmoush, massive positive. That guy was so fun to watch.
But look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend everything's okay. It wasn't. Like, if you're watching with your own eyes, you could tell it was terrible. Because at least if we weren't winning anything, right? But we played good football, got unlucky. It is what it is. But when you start, but the way we were playing was playing every week the same way, and it wasn't getting any better. How as fans can we sit there and just accept that? I get you come every year. Of course you can't. It's football. Anything can happen. But it's how you compete every year is what defines you. Compete was terrible, in my opinion.
We didn't compete at all this year. Not in anything.
Yeah, we compete
for the final, by the way.
We compete for the FA Cup.
No, we didn't, though, because it's the thing. We got to the FA Cup final. That's the easiest cup run we've had in a while.
Yeah, but that's competing. If we reach the cup final, that means you compete in that cup.
I predicted we'd get to that final. We were very lucky to even get there, and we were terrible in that final. Let's be honest.
It doesn't matter. You're still competing. The term's competing, whether you were lucky or not. If you reach the final, that means you competed for that cup. When you get to the final, it's a flip coin. You win or lose, but it doesn't mean you didn't compete. To reach the final, that means you beat the team. You beat a lot of other teams along the way.
So we competed for an FA Cup, which we had a very lucky run in. We were absolutely terrible in the Champions League. We were so inconsistent in the Premier League. We had good moments when we beat Newcastle 4-0, and then we had the opposite end of the spectrum where we lost 4-0 to Tottenham Hotspur at our own gaff. So
I agree. Listen. I agree. The league, we didn't compete for the league. We didn't compete for the Champions League.
No.
Or the Carabao Cup.
The Carabao Cup.
We were embarrassing in the Champions League.
We compete for the FA Cup. Hence, we were in the final.
Final at home was embarrassing performance in the season. Like up 3-0. You know what I'll do? I'll bring the kids on now. We're in the middle of a bad run of form. Do you know what I'm going to do? Bring the kids on. We're at home. We're winning 3-0. You get the job done. Get it done. Get in. At that point, you have to get the form back, and that means not relying on youngsters straight away. But when you do that, what happened? It brought on young players instantly, experienced way, and we collapsed. I mean, Edison that game was terrible, by the way. The position he had for them a goal was absolutely terrible. But that for me was if I had to game season perfectly is 2. That game against Feyenoord and United at home lost 2-1 Diallo. That United game was pathetic. Both sides, by the way. Both are shite. But the way we fucking bottled that. By the way, a win, by the way, a 1-0 win. I'm still pissed off by it. Anyway, we were shit. A 1-0 win is great. Of course it is, but it was fucking terrible. I can't
forgive Nunes for that United game. I can't do it.
It was brain dead. Absolutely brain dead. And
he does that every game, and it always leads to a goal. That's why he cannot be trusted in big games. The fact that we dropped 5 points to that shit Man United team is fucking embarrassing. Pep didn't even try to win at Old Trafford.
By the way,
what are you doing?
It's come here something perfectly. Like 1920, right? Isn't the same as last season. Because even that season where we didn't win the league, we're 81 points. We won the Carabao Cup. It wasn't perfect by any means. It wasn't great. Still wasn't great, but it was still better than this last season.
We could have lost the Carabao Cup, and it would have still been a better season.
Exactly.
It's not just the trophies. That's
It was
the
the back
1920
line.
season.
It was the back line 1920, isn't it? Because when Laporte got
and
injured, John Stockton
injuries,
just got injured that season, and we just were playing Otamendi and Garcia. Do you know what I mean? So it was the back line in there, and I think we didn't have Kyle Walker got injured, and then we had to play Fernandinho right back. It was a madness that season. So,
but this is what I mean. Though,
but
like,
the football was better attacking wise, though, way better.
Yeah, hold on. Hold on. It's now hold on.
It's the Pope still a Catholic.
There you go. Try now. The Pope's still Catholic. It's still
No,
Catholic.
she's asking if his faith is still Pepart. Is the Pope still Catholic? Do you know what I mean?
That is so funny out of context. That's so funny.
Does shit in the woods? Yeah, it does. Yeah, another one. Brentford away. 2-0 up.
That was
We
away,
fucked it
not
up.
home.
That game, bro. That game, man.
And we'll win a game, and then suddenly goes, oh no, and then 2-0.
That's I think that was one of Foden's best games of the season too.
It was good. It was good as well.
Yeah, you know what it is as well, yeah?
I think he scored both goals.
A lot of games we've collapsed after like 50 to 60 minutes. Like at that like 55 minutes mark.
Yeah.
It's generally when we collapsed last season. And it's because the old players got not what it is.
They can't run for 90 minutes anymore, can't they? They've been running for 90 minutes for 4 seasons straight, man.
Well,
because Liverpool went in our backs for 2 seasons, then Arsenal went in our backs for 2 seasons, and we got into a stage at the end of in the business end of the season, March all the way to May, where every game was a final, and every game was to be played for the whole 90 minutes. And for 4 years, we've done that.
Yeah, shut up, bro.
You got to the point this season where after 60 minutes or 75 minutes, everyone is knackered. Every single one of them. Do you know what I mean?
There's no rotation. Again, it goes back to squad building. Board fails.
By the way, right, just quickly, right. Speaking of this Existant guy, he's put breaking news about an hour ago. Just read knowledge of an important development in capital letters. Important development. Clear your schedule.
Qu'est-ce qu'il a dit?
Right. Clear schedules for 11 p.m. BST today. You can't miss this. It's all over. What the you think you are, bro? What is this?
Bro.
It's not wrestling. WWE. You missed it. I swear it's some
important development. Do me a favor.
It's in the deal. Negotiating the contract. Just seriously, right? And it's just.
What do you mean?
In 5 minutes from now, we're going to be enlightened, aren't we?
We're blown away by his transfer news.
What do you make of
trust me, bro.
What do you make of the Morgan Gibbs White transfer saga?
Good, honestly, good. Because I'm not paying that much money that they're demanding for him.
How much would you pay for him?
I like him as a player, but not at that price.
Yeah.
I think we should try to squeeze him at the end of the window.
For me, and don't call me a flip-flop, yeah, because it's nuanced. It's nuanced, guys. Context, it matters. For me, you're overpaying for Gibbs White, but that's okay because you need to overpay sometimes for these English players. I do think he would have been a very good rotational player if we got him in, but that's all, a rotational player for me, a squad player. So you have to overpay, yeah, but that's because he's homegrown, and we're not promoting any of our academy players to be homegrown. We've got an issue with homegrown. I prefer Livramento over Gibbs White. I think he's more important to us if we sign him. I think he's going to play more, and I think his price is more justified. If we don't get Livramento, I still want someone to come in. But who is that someone going to be? Morgan Rogers? I mean, then you're going to have to sell Doku probably. So you're going to have to bring in some homegrown player, and you're going to have to overpay. So whether that's Gibbs White, Livramento, Rogers, I don't know. But you're going to have to overpay at some point for a homegrown player. and you just have to accept that. So for me, I'm okay with not getting Gibbs White. I'm okay with getting Gibbs White. I'm very much so neutral on it.
I think we need to get Morgan Gibbs. I agree with the price. I would pay max 60 or 65 M's, but not 75 or 80 million. But I feel like we going to the new season. I feel like Morgan Gibbs White is going to be key in our team. He's going to be one of the key players in that team because he can operate 2 positions, and we need a player like him. I know Reijnders can be physical, but we also need players that, because we go into next season, we don't know how Rodri is going to react after being a year out without football. I know he's got his ACL, it's just sorted now, but after an ACL, when you come back to football, then the muscular injuries start to appear. We have to manage Rodri's minutes really well. And if we go into
he cannot season, he has to play only 1 game a week for a couple of months.
If we're going to season where our midfielder options are Rodri, Nico, Reijnders, and let's say we don't know how well Reijnders is going to settle in or adapt to the league. It might take a few games, or it might take time, and we don't know how much he's going to adapt to the physicality. We've seen many players when they come to the league, in the first 3 months, they struggle physically, they tend to get injuries along the way. And if, let's say, Reijnders pick up an injury, then that means you have to play Nico Gonzalez next to Rodri, for example. And that means Rodri will have to play 90 minutes because you don't have someone as Nico Gonzalez coming off the bench to give Rodri a few rests. Having Morgan Gibbs White in there, whether we have a couple of injuries in the middle of the park, at least we're going to have some options to play in the 8, and also an option to play in the 10 if Foden comes back. Or if Foden doesn't come back well. Do you know what I mean? Because we're all hoping here. And I feel like all it takes is a couple of injuries and we set ourselves backwards again if we don't get Morgan Gibbs White. So it's a tough one. We need to add I think we need to add another midfield.
I would hold out, like I said earlier. I would hold out to the end of the window. Throw them 65 million at the end of the window. They'll probably take it.
Yeah. They buy a lot of players.
I would really put the pressure on the player too. I'd be like, do not sign a new contract with them. Tell the player, hey, we're coming back for you next summer. Do not sign a new contract.
Yeah.
We got to start acting like big boys.
I just think,
do you want Champions League football or do you want Conference League? You know, we need to start, leveraging these players.
Also, people forget as well, right, that this is only the first window that's opening up. After this, like, there's another one coming up after. So we're forgetting, like, these 3 players coming in that we're trying to get in isn't going to be it. Players are going to be leaving. Players are coming in. Trust me, we're not done yet. So like, I think after the D3 come in, which by the way are 3 important signs if we do get them in, it's all about now how we move. There we go. On the clock. What's he said now? Go ahead. What's this guy waffling about there?
Wait, who?
You know what? Existar. Let's actually look up what he said, shall we? I'm actually going to do it because he said 11 p.m. UK time. He has some news.
Is it 11? Oh my god, it is. Okay, let's see what he says. Existar. What do you have for us?
It's correspondent. Right. What? I mean, seriously, it's about 115, bro. Bro, exclusive. Joe, I won't even share the screen.
What does he say? I don't follow.
Joe, what? Share the screen. I'll share the screen. Look, I'm sorry, right? But at the end of the day, look, if you're right, bro. But like the way you have to, don't you have to like pretend that you're this oracle, bro? Come on, man. Right, hold on.
Man, call him. Did you call him an oracle?
Oh, jeez.
Bro, it's waffle. It's just the same words. But is it reliable? Not guilty. Source.
Oh, jeez.
Source is I made it the fuck up.
Source is trust me, bro.
Trust me, but it is.
Can someone ask you who's the reliable source?
Existe or Khaldun Mubarak.
It's me, guys. I'm the source.
Do you know?
Alfie is the new.
Exactly,
Alfie is the new ATK.
Exactly.
Patrick has
Even
been sacked.
Khaldun said about it yet. Even Khaldun said it. Like,
Do you know the easiest way to grow an account on Next? Yeah,
exclusive.
Pretend to be an ITK. Exclusive, like capital letters. Do you know what I mean?
Breaking news, emoji, sirens. Like, come on, bro. What? Like, I do it for YouTube because it helps. That's YouTube, not fucking Twitter, bro. What are we doing here?
Bro,
Come on, bro.
Look at now. Look at them. The most reliable in capital letters, not guilty. The drama.
But yeah, underlined bold lettering. Oh yeah, that old trick. Hashtag MCF at the end as well. Just a little flourish on the bottom of the tweet.
When we type Man City.
It's a proper joke, and it's
like, bro. But you might know stuff, bro. I might know stuff. Some of the other people in this panel doesn't mean it's right.
I know.
I know a lot of stuff, guys. I know everything.
Yeah.
Do you know who started with this? Yeah, it's Sky Sports and Talksport. Do you know years ago? Yeah, they I think Sky Sport is one of the biggest.
Exactly, I remember this.
Oh, is that the guy who said Neymar was coming?
Yeah, the same guy.
Oh, jeez.
Waffler.
KFA status certified. KFC tier confirmed.
Do you see Ornstein?
Yes. Yeah, in the thumbnail, yeah.
Do you see Ornstein? Ornstein only put like 1 or 2 tweets a day. He doesn't need.
Yeah.
What they put Fabrizio? Yeah. Fabrizio is like recycling. It's like same tweets every 9 minutes. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. Absolute madman.
Well, look, again, like the thing is, people are like, oh, it's hated. No, I'm not hating them. I just think it's weird. If you really are an S correspondent of MEN, right? Let's just say you are. Why would you go out of your way to create a random Twitter account randomly out of nowhere during City's worst season ever? Well, that's bullshit. Worst season ever. Worst season in the current era of the club right now. Let's just say we're in full kind of stuff. I'll caveat that. Why would you then create an account now? Why not do it when we're playing well? I mean, I've actually got a lot of links to big players. Is it because we're having a rebuild? Because we've got a lot of players. It's like, come on, man. Like, yeah, exactly. Worst modern season ever. Yeah, I agree. Not the worst ever. We're way worse ones than the one there. But you know what I mean? Like, and bear in mind, this will go on now for months. This guy. For months. Yeah. All this news.
It's just like that other guy told me he's gonna go on for months.
Yeah.
And these people don't expect they'll be next year as well. They'll be waffling next year and again and again. Like, just block them. I've blocked this guy. Like just ignore him.
Do you know what, right? I'm very tempted to do an experiment, right? Just to see how fucking mad this actually, because honestly, right, any one of us here could actually do a random new account, right? Set it up, put it in a whole different way, and set it up in a really mystique way, and you probably get a lot of followers out of it easily. Anyway, Joe, what?
I'll start doing it. And then I'll reveal this account was just me, and I was bullshitting about everything. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah, Joe, what?
That'll actually be funny.
Yeah, Joe, what? Before we end it, I'll ask you guys, your predictions rest of the window. Actually, because I think that the end of the season, right? We all know it's crap, but it's kind of like everything we discussed the last few months has been pretty much on the money anyway. So it's not really a it's not surprising anymore. But I'll ask you guys, like, end this window, how many do you think are coming in, and how many are going out? We'll start with
I
Kels.
think.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Alfie. I got a
No, go ahead.
answer. Go ahead.
Ladies first. Then again, I have long.
I think we're gonna sell 3 players at least, like players who actually play. And I think we're gonna bring in up to 5. That's counting Reijnders, Nori, Turkey. I've been joking. I've been clowning on people for being fake ITKs, but I think we'll get them over. I think we'll get Nori and Turkey over the line for the Club World Cup. And I think we're going to get a shock. We're going to get a homegrown player in, I would say, also later in the window. I would say post Club World Cup. It's either going to be, I'm going to hold tight. I think we're either going to get Livramento or Gibbs White. Somebody will bend. We'll get one of them.
Yeah.
And then outgoings. Yeah. I think my shock outgoing is Doku. I think he could go. And I would love to see Chevalier come in, but I don't believe that he will. I can see Gundogan leaving. I think Kyle Walker's guaranteed to leave. Phillips, unfortunately, I think will be loaned. Jack will probably be loaned. And I think Stones will probably leave too. I think they'll find a way to get rid of him.
Let's go.
I don't know how. But we'll lose a lot of money, but I do think we'll get one homegrown player in, and
right.
We got to clear a foreign slot. So somebody from the foreign contingency is going to leave.
Yep. Alf.
I really think that we're gonna need to get a lot of players out, because not just of the squad size, but of the homegrown as well. So I think that's about 10 players who's gonna go. Either sold, going on a free, or being loaned out. I think 10 players are going out, not including De Bruyne. So 10 players going out. 3 players at least, and Aitnouri, Reijnders, and Tjijani coming in. We still need a right back. I don't think we'll get one, to be honest. I want Livramento. To be honest, I don't think we'll get him. And if we don't get Livramento, I don't think we'll get anyone. Pep will do a madness, and please don't do it. But I think he will. I don't. Maybe I'm being a doomer, but I don't think we'll get a right back. So I'm looking at an extra midfielder who's versatile, can like play right wing, midfield, left wing, something like that, or maybe a midfielder who can play right back. I don't know. So maybe we'll get that. I'm not quite sure who that would be, but just a midfielder who's a bit versatile. Let's hope we get a right back. Pep loves Livramento, obviously, but it's difficult to get him. Newcastle just won a trophy. Their players are loyal, man. Newcastle is good at keeping players and convincing players about the project. And they've got great fans. Like, credit to Newcastle. They have really good fans. And when you have good fans behind you, it's difficult to be convinced to leave to a stadium which is half empty. And also, let's not pretend that the Etihad is very full right now, currently, with the ticket situation. So these players, they don't come that easily.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yes, bro. Your thoughts?
Just to answer the question on the chat. No, Jan Coulter is at Dortmund now. He's a Dortmund player. They paid him. They paid the release clause that was in his contract when we loaned him out. I think we're gonna get the 3 deals done quickly before the Club World Cup, which is the Reijnders, Chaikin, and Aitnouri. But when we go into the second part of the transfer window, we won't be seeing many incomings for the time being. I feel like the club will start sorting out a few players out. In terms of Ilkay Gundo, for example, if there is an offer for Jack Grealish, because players will start focusing on outgoings rather than, because if you look at it, we've bought 4 players in January, then if you get them 3 deals out the way, then that puts up at 7 players already. 2 midfielders, 2 defenders, and 1 attacking. Is it? Yeah, Nico G, Reijnders, Cherky, and the 2 defenders and what? Yeah, that's 7 players. So when you've had 7 players in 2 windows without really any sort of outgoings, let's face it, the only outgoing was KDB and possibly Kyle Walker, but Kyle Walker's coming back this week because his loan is ended, and Calvin Phillips is coming back as well.
New
So,
right back.
Joshua.
Kyle Walker is not gonna ever.
Yeah, Joshua. Goes on with
that
He's coming back from one.
Sorry, that player who tries to get into their building but can't get in because it's key work.
Exactly.
Phillips.
Yeah. Listen,
no.
What we do with John Stones, we have to wait and see. So I think for the Club World Cup, we get 3 signings. But for the second, when the Club World Cup ends and we go into the second half of the transfer window, I think the club will start looking at adjusting the squad a little bit more in terms of. We also need to think about the loans as well. Are we keeping Echeverri? Is he going to get enough game time to help with his development? Because when you look at that wing situation, we've got on one side we've got Doku Marmoush, and let's add Jack Grealish in there. We don't know what's happened, but we've got Doku Marmoush. On the other side, we may pay Cherky, and then you've got Savio, and then you've got Oscar Bob. How are you going to manage those minutes? Is he? Are we looking, because Oscar Bob just had a year out? Are we looking to loan him out, get his fitness back, or we keep him in the squad and give him a game time to get back to his best? What's happened with Savio and what's happened with Doku if Marmoush will play week in, week out as a goal scorer? I mean, then you've got Echeverri in there. So it's a tricky one. In terms of the back line, you're going to have, you must give Kusanov more game time. Forget the 5 million that you need to pay extra, but you cannot leave that lad at home because you don't have enough room and on the bench to include him. With McAtee, what's happening with him? For example, is he staying? Is he leaving? Is the offer still on the table?
Leaving.
So it's a lot of outgoings that we need to focus on the second half of the transfer window, and the loans as well. So it's going to be interesting to see. We just have to wait and see.
Yeah, exactly.
Also,
Do you know what we got?
If you want Husanov to play more minutes, you have to get rid of Akanji, because Pep will just play Akanji. Somebody made a point. I forget where it was. Somewhere I was listening. They said that Akanji kind of has the same like status as the uncles. If they're available, they'll play. And that's absolute facts. If you want Husanov and Victor Hayes to get any minutes, if you assume Victor Hayes is staying, Akanji has to go.
Akanji
will take all of the minutes.
For me personally, 2 signs. I think 2 more signs for season starts. Probably Shirky and Nori. Because I think the moment, I mean, I'll ask you guys this as well. Like, if everyone wants to stay, let's say the ones that don't want to stay. The ones that don't want to go. Is there anything else that we need right now? After I know, obviously right back as well. If you want to write back, but if 2 more other Reijnders, who would you want? It was 2 more.
It's an interesting one. I want another attacking player because I need more goals in the front line. I need goals coming from both wings, not just one. I've been accustomed to having Sane and Sterling, and then I have Sterling, Riyad Mahrez, then I had Riyad Mahrez, Haaland, and Alvarez once against Tottenham. We were 2-0 down. Don't worry, don't panic. We win this game 4-2. Bang, 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 bang. I'm not sure how Doku is going to be in his second season because Doku only scored 1 goal this season. For a club like Manchester City, and you've been one of the attacking players, 1 goal is not good enough. you're not Jesus Navas, mate. Do you know what I mean? You got to put the ball in the back of the net. How many times he's been one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and he can't score. He simply can't score, and he got up those numbers. Doku the same. You got to score more goals, mate. You got to improve your decision making in the final third. But we are going next season. We cannot go into next season and tell some of this player, oh, they're young, they need time, give him another year. Sorry,
Yeah,
we can't. They've got to deliver. They've got to deliver. Marmoush, I know I'm going to get goals from Marmoush. I know I'm going to get goals from Haaland. I need to know whether I'm going to get enough goals from Savio, Doku, and Oscar Bob. So I need more firepower, man. I need more firepower.
Yeah. All right. Well, over 3 hours streaming again. This show always does for over 3 hours. I mean, it's a new norm now on the channel. Now to do 3 hours.
Because
more than that.
Just before you finish, if Marmoush gets injured, then we're going back to square one, just spamming bunch of cross to Haaland. It's not good enough, man.
We're not so. Because we're gonna have Sherky now, and we're gonna have Foden hopefully back. We're gonna have Reijnders, so we're not gonna go back to square one. We're gonna have other players in there. But I would still prefer another player like it doesn't have to be Morgan Rodgers. I keep saying Morgan Rodgers. We're not getting him, let's be honest. But a player of a similar profile like him, who can get a goal, who can play in midfield, can play on the wing. That's what I'm hoping for.
Thanks, DC.
We
Much
kind of already
appreciated.
have that though with Echeverry.
Echeverry being
what I
one
mean.
of potentially.
And we just don't want to use them.
Yeah. All right. Well, big up you guys. Obviously coming on as well. You guys have always been great. It's a great show.
Pleasure,
If you want to see more of this show going forward next season, going forward, leave like below if you haven't already. We'll. I know obviously Celts and Mateus are often on Patch channel as well every now and again as well. I am now and again as well. So a lot of crossover channel. It's like you see it away. So.
And on Alfie's channel.
Yeah, give me a shout, man. Anytime, bro. Give me a shout, man.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, I think if we get Nori and Shirky through, we'll have to do another one again, probably. Maybe all three of them. So then what we'll do is we'll do a Club World Cup squad and we'll do our ideal first 7. So we'll do that before the Club World Cup starts, because I go away to Greece on the 19th of June. So just after the start, after our first game. So we're trying to get up all for us again, or more people want to get involved as well. So
Nah, forget City, man. Go enjoy your holiday. Forget City. Come on, man.
Good point. But then again, I say that, bro. I'm too. It's clubs. And
what about City?
It's an addiction.
Addiction. I can't stop. I need help.
Drew City fan channel. We're going to be doing watch-alongs for Club World Cup.
I'll try and tune in.
He's going to give me the keys to the channel for that 2 a.m. game.
No.
I'll be doing watch-alongs to the women's shadows instead.
I'll be there as well on them ones, but especially with England. So we'll watch out for that. Yeah, everyone. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not staying up for 2 a.m. to watch a set. Come on, man. Especially
that's 6 p.m. for me, so I'm like, that's a great time. We never had games on at that. I've never seen City at that time.
It was a great show. Yeah.
I think the games for me is like 9 a.m., 6 p.m., and then like I think 12 p.m. or 2 p.m. or something. Like they're all. I mean, it's in America. It's perfect. I wish I could go. I can't make it work. So I live on the west coast of America, and to fly to the east coast is like. I live in a smaller city, so there's always a layover involved. So it's like a 6 to 8 hour event just to travel to the East Coast. So I just can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm with you, DC. We're the 4:30 crew. 4:30, 6:30, 7 a.m. Yeah,
Kel.
We're on the West Coast.
Kel. Look who wants to end the stream. Calm down.
No. Honestly, right. I appreciate you guys coming on and chatting me for the last 3 hours. Always appreciate it as well. We'll definitely do play more going forward. I think for the rest of the channel, we got a stream thing in, I think AC Lamp actually, which keep an eye on that one because it's about Reijnders. That'll be a bit more of analytical stream, hopefully. It should be good. Plus, next week, I think, I haven't got a date confirmed in yet, but LB's coming on the channel at Day. That's hopefully going to happen. Be good. A good stream of LB. Again, I won't announce it yet until it's properly sorted out because LB's a very busy guy and it's hard to get a guaranteed on that one. So, we'll get it sorted. So then, people, have a great evening. I'll see you soon for another stream. Just Alfred and Tristan already. Follow everyone on Twitter if not already. I'll see you guys again another stream very soon.
See you soon, Mike. Okay.